Chapter 226. The other party was clad in black, shrouded in devil chi. His speed was extremely fast, covering several li in the blink of an eye. Moreover, he was traveling through the wilderness. In a flicker, Lu Yiping appeared in front of the other party. Who is it? A blue-robed figure suddenly appeared in front of the other party. The other party was shocked and stopped abruptly. Purple Extreme Demon Tribe. Lu Yiping looked at the other party and said indifferently. Although the other party was shrouded in devil chi, the unique power of the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe's bloodline couldn't escape Lu Yiping's eyes. Who are you? The Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert retreated in shock. Light surged from his body as he secretly pinched an escape talisman in his hand. Lu Yiping didn't mind seeing the other party secretly pinching the escape talisman. A suction force from his hand pulled the other party to his front. The other party was shocked and quickly crushed the escape talisman in his hand. However, he discovered that the space around him had completely solidified. The escape talisman that could allow him to teleport was completely useless after being crushed. Lu Yiping sealed the other party's god force and searched his soul. A short while later, Huang Xiaolong finished searching his soul. With a clench of his fist, the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert exploded. Even until his death, this Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert couldn't understand why a blue-robed young man who appeared out of nowhere could crush him to death like an ant. Moreover, when he died, he didn't even know why the other party wanted to kill him. 7 Spirit Fox Tribe. Lu Yiping read aloud. From this Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert, Huang Xiaolong learned that one of the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe's nests was in the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's territory. This was one of the 2 nests the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe had in the 17th world. The other nest was in the Void Plain. Even this Purple Extreme Demon Tribe expert only knew that the other nest was in the Void Plain, but he didn't know its exact location. Lu Yiping's eyes turned cold. 7 Spirit Fox Tribe. He didn't expect the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe to be the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe's nest. Master. At this time, Taurus Longjiao, He Xia, and the others arrived one after another. Taurus Longjiao looked at the blood mist in the air. Let's go to the 7 Spirit Fox clan, Lu Yiping said. The Purple Extreme Devil Race's nest is in the 7 Spirit Fox clan. Taurus Longjiao was also very surprised. The Purple Extreme Devil clan's devil nest was actually in the 7 Spirit Fox clan. In the next moment, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others walked towards the 7 Spirit Fox tribe. The 7 Spirit Fox clan was an ancient clan. They were ranked 4th among the 10 superpowers in the 9-star realm. The mountain range that the 7 Spirit Fox clan occupied was called the 7 Spirit Mountain. It was named after the 7 spirit foxes. By the time Lu Yiping and the others arrived at the 7 Spirit Mountains, the sky was already bright. The morning sun shone on the peaks of the 7 Spirit Mountains, reflecting a rainbow light. This was due to the 7 spirits' divine power of the 7 Spirits Fox clan. The 7 Spirits Fox clan had the 7 spirits bloodline. After they became gods, their divine power would become a special kind of divine power. This kind of divine power contained 7 colors, so it was called the 7 Spirits Divine Power. Because the 7 Spirit Fox clan cultivated in the 7 Spirit Mountains all year round, the 7 Spirits Divine Power permeated the mountain range. Therefore, the mountain range was also tainted with the 7 Spirits Divine Power. Under the sunlight, the 7 Spirit Mountains peaks emitted a rainbow light. However, when Lu Yiping's group arrived at the foot of the 7 Spirit Mountains, they saw people fighting. On one side of the fight was a pair of beautiful sisters. On the other side were disciples of the 7 Spirit Mountains. Initially, Lu Yiping didn't pay much attention to them. However, when the beautiful sisters suddenly stabbed out with their swords, sword lights resembling flowers, not only Lu Yiping, but even Taurus Longjiao was surprised. Profound Flower Sword Art. The Profound Flower Sword Art was the Luo River's sword art. How could this pair of beautiful sisters know the Luo River's sword art? The Profound Flower Sword Art pierced through one of the 7 Spirit Fox clan's disciples, sending him flying. Audacious demon girls, time and time again, causing trouble in my 7-Spirit Fox clan. The other 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciple was enraged. Today, I won't let you off. As he spoke, he circulated his divine power and sent a palm strike at the two women. The two women were peak late-stage True God Realm experts, and the 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciple was also a peak late-stage True God Realm expert. However, when the 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciple circulated his 7 spirits' divine power, the two women were suppressed and quickly fell into a disadvantageous position. Your 7-Spirit Fox clan's Zhou Qiang is despicable and shameless. He snatched our green dragon ginseng. We just want to see your patriarch to seek justice, but you Zhou Qiang's slaves obstructed us time and time again. Lulan, who wore a green dress, raged. The 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciples' face sank. Nonsense. The green dragon ginseng was found by my elder Zhou Qiang in the desolate forest. Hong Lan, who wore a red dress, sneered, this kind of nonsense is just Zhou Qiang and the two of you deceiving yourselves. The 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciples' palm suddenly swelled to twice its original size, and he sent a palm strike at the two women. Other than the 7-Spirit Fox clan's divine power, there were also strands of black light in his palm strike. The two women were shocked. Just as the palm strike was about to hit them, a saber light pierced through the air and shattered the 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciples' palm strike. Everyone was stunned. When they looked over, they saw a blue-robed young man and a golden-haired burly man walking over. Behind them were 4 old men. The one who had attacked was Ba Dao. Just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walked over, a figure flew out from the 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciples' side and arrived at the scene. Elder Zhou Qiang. When the 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciples saw the newcomer, they hurried over to greet him. The newcomer was none other than the 7-Spirit Fox clan's elder, Zhou Qiang. He was also the disciple of the 7-Spirit Fox clan's ancestor, Su Hanwen. When Zhou Qiang arrived, he looked at the two women and then at Lu Yiping. He snorted coldly, ungrateful bastard, coming to our 7-Spirit Fox clan to cause trouble again. Today, none of you can leave. However, just as he finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao pulled him to the front. Then, Taurus Longjiao's palm pierced into Zhou Qiang's chest and pulled out a purple demonic worm. Indifferent, Taurus Longjiao muttered, the purple demon heart-devouring worm of the extreme purple demon tribe. Zhou Qiang panicked, I don't know what you're talking about. Taurus Longjiao was too lazy to talk nonsense, and he smashed Zhou Qiang's body into pieces. Everyone looked at Zhou Qiang's body in shock. Even the sisters Hua Qinglan and Hong Lan were dumbfounded. You! The peak late-stage True God Realm 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciple glared at Taurus Longjiao. Taurus Longjiao's palm slapped the 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciple, sending him crashing into a mountain peak. Those who cultivate the extreme purple demon tribe's cultivation technique must die. When the 7-Spirit Fox clan's disciple fell to the ground, he was already dead. Who taught you the profound flower sword art? Lu Yiping asked the two women. The two women were frightened by Taurus Longjiao's ruthlessness, and they didn't dare to lie to Lu Yiping. Our father taught us. Your father? Lu Yiping was surprised. Lulan nodded, my father is seriously injured. Originally, we were looking for the Azure Dragon Ginseng to heal him, but we didn't expect Zhou Qiang to snatch it away. Lu Yiping ordered, wait for me here. With that said, he flew towards the 7-Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. Taurus Longjiao, He Xia, and the others followed closely behind. Chapter 227. Hua Lulan and Honglan looked in the direction Lu Yiping and the others had left in surprise. Big sister, that seems to be the direction of the 7-Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. Are they going to enter the 7-Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land? Lulan asked. After killing the 7-Spirit Fox clan's elder, they still dared to enter the 7-Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. Were these people crazy? Honglan also had a look of surprise on her face. Big sister, are we really going to wait for him? Lulan asked. Honglan stepped forward and picked up Zhou Chang's spatial artifact from the ground. She then found the green dragon ginseng and said, "Let's hide somewhere nearby. If he doesn't come out in half a day, we'll leave." At this time, the news of Zhou Chang's death had alarmed the 7 Spirit Fox clan's upper echelons. If it had been an ordinary elder, it would have been fine. However, Zhou Qiang was the personal disciple of the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestor, Su Hanwen. Su Hanwen was a planar master. Where are they now? The 7 Spirit Fox clan's patriarch, Hu Zhuo, asked coldly. After killing Elder Zhou Qiang, they didn't escape. Instead, they entered the 7 Spirit Mountain. The elder said. They entered the 7 Spirit Mountain. Hu Zhuo and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts were shocked. Yes, and judging from their direction, they seemed to be heading to the ancestral land. The elder added. Heading to the ancestral land? Hu Zhuo and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts were even more surprised. Follow me and capture them. We can't let them disturb the ancestors in the ancestral land, especially great ancestor Hu Yuanxiu. Hu Zhuo said solemnly. Immediately, he and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts shot into the sky to capture Lu Yiping. Just as Hu Zhuo and the others rushed over, an elder reported in a panic, "Patriarch, we just received news that another elder and 2 grand elders were killed by the enemy." What? Hu Zhuo and the others were furious. Everyone, listen to my order. When we meet them, use all your strength to suppress them. Hu Zhuo said angrily. Hu Zhuo and the 7 Spirit Fox clan's experts increased their speed. At this time, Lu Yiping and the others had arrived at the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land. "Master, let me do it," Taurus Longjiao said. Lu Yiping nodded. A small fish appeared in Taurus Longjiao's hand. Little Xiaoyu instantly enlarged, reverting back to its original form. The Kunpeng was half the size of the Kunpeng divine sect, and it covered the mountains of the 7 Spirit Fox race. The disciples of the 7 Spirit Fox clan who were cultivating on the various mountain peaks felt strange and raised their heads to look at the sky. Hu Zhuo and the others who were rushing over to the ancestral land suddenly felt the sky darken and raised their heads to look. In the ancestral land of the 7 Spirit Foxes, Patriarch Su Hanwen heard the report that his disciple, Zhou Qiang, had been killed. He flew into a rage, and was just about to issue orders when the sky darkened. Hu Zhuo, Su Hanwen, and the other disciples of the 7 Spirit Fox tribe all saw the same fish. They had never imagined that there would be such a big fish in the world. Now, this fish with no end in sight was crashing down on the 7 Spirits Fox ancestral land. Hu Zhuo's expression changed. Su Hanwen's expression changed. In the ancestral land, the faces of all the ancestors who saw the fish changed. Even the strongest ancestor of the 7 Spirit Fox tribe, Hu Yuanxiu, roared, "Run!" As Hu Yuanxiu's roar reverberated throughout the 7 Spirit Fox tribe's ancestral land, the huge fish finally came crashing down. Rumble. It was as if the world was about to be destroyed. The earth-shattering explosion caused all the disciples and experts of the 7 Spirit Fox tribe to lose their sense of hearing. Their minds buzzed as if they had suffered a concussion. The destructive force and terrifying sound waves blasted the surrounding mountains. Loud explosions sounded continuously. Some of the surrounding mountains crumbled, some cracked like a spider. Within the ancestral land, the numerous palaces were like crispy popcorn that were exploding unceasingly amidst the crisp sounds, transforming into balls of powder. At the same time, several purple figures flew out from the depths of the ancestral land. Just as these purple figures flew out from the depths of the ancestral land, the huge fish suddenly straightened its back and swept out like a corpse. When the purple figures saw the Kunpeng sweeping over, they roared in anger and struck out with their palms. Purple Demon Corpse Transformation Palm. The purple demonic chi was like a huge purple demonic river, and the terrifying corpse chi was thousands of layers. But the Kunpeng swept the purple demon corpse transformation palm away in an instant, and then swept the purple figures with unstoppable momentum. In an instant, the purple figures were swept away and smashed into the depths of the ancestral land. The 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's great ancestor Hu Yuanxiu was furious. "Who are you?" Lu Yiping swept a glance at Hu Yuanxiu, and a suction force pulled Hu Yuanxiu in front of him. It was because Hu Yuanxiu had sided with the Purple Demon Tribe that the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's ancestral land became a nest of the Purple Demon Tribe. Lu Yiping looked at Hu Yuanxiu coldly, and the latter felt a chill in his heart. Lu Yiping threw Hu Yuanxiu into the Kun Peng's giant mouth. The Kun Peng's giant mouth bit down, and Hu Yuanxiu screamed in pain. The 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's patriarch, Hu Zhua, who had rushed over, saw the scene of Lu Yiping throwing Hu Yuanxiu into the Kun Peng's giant mouth, and his legs turned to jelly. "Lord Lu Yiping!" Hu Zhua and the other ancestors who had met Lu Yiping in the Cave of Fallen Gods knelt on the ground, their faces ashen. Lu Yiping glanced sideways at the kneeling Hu Zhua. Hu Zhua and the others were trembling. However, not all of the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's experts had sided with the Purple Demon Tribe, which was why Lu Yiping spared Hu Zhua's life. Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived at the depths of the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's ancestral land. The 6 Purple Demon Tribe's experts who were smashed into the depths of the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's ancestral land consisted of men and women, young and old, and all of them were on the verge of death. One of them looked at Lu Yiping and laughed, "You're the Saint Devil Master Lu Yiping. The newly ascended 10th on the God ranking list? Lu Yiping, you won't have a good ending for going against our Purple Demon Tribe." Lu Yiping looked down at these Purple Demon Tribe's experts. "You only know me as the Saint Devil Master Lu Yiping, but you don't know that the Saint Devil Master is just one of my in-name disciples." The Purple Demon Tribe's experts were stunned. The Saint Devil Master was just one of Lu Yiping's disciples? And he was just an in-name disciple? "I have several dozen in-name disciples," Lu Yiping said indifferently. "Other than 2 people, the rest are all stronger than the Saint Devil Master. I also have 4 personal disciples. Several dozen in-name disciples, only 2 people weaker than the Saint Devil Master." The Purple Demon Tribe's experts were dumbfounded. A streak of lightning appeared on Lu Yiping's fingertip. This streak of lightning was actually gray in color. These Purple Demon Tribe's experts had never heard of gray lightning before. The gray lightning in Lu Yiping's hand landed on their bodies, turning them into ashes in an instant. "Kill all those who have sided with the Purple Demon Tribe and those who have cultivated the Purple Demon Tribe's cultivation methods," Lu Yiping said to Taurus Longjiao. At the same time, he punched out, blasting open a palace in the deepest part of the ancestral land. Inside the palace, there was a large pile of tree chunks. All of them were building tree chunks. Chapter 228. Some of them were 1 meter tall, some were half a meter tall, and some were only the size of a fist. There were more than 70 pieces in total. Lu Yiping's heart leaped with joy. With these pieces of foundation tree, his foundation tree should be able to grow to 200 meters tall, right? Lu Yiping kept all of these pieces of foundation tree into the heaven and earth cauldron, then searched the area to make sure there were no more pieces of foundation tree before giving up. Coming out from the ancestral land, Taurus Longjiao killed the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's ancestors and disciples that had surrendered to the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe. The 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's patriarch, Hu Zhua, and the others were kneeling on the ground, not daring to move. Taurus Longjiao swung the club in his hand for a while before finally stopping. Although Taurus Longjiao had stopped, Hu Zhua and the others were still trembling with fear. After Taurus Longjiao and the others dealt with the Purple Extreme Demon Tribe's remnants, Lu Yiping had Hu Zhua and the others stand up. He did not make things difficult for them and left the 7 Spirit Mountains with Taurus Longjiao and the others. Hu Zhua and the others watched as Lu Yiping left, the ground littered with corpses, and the ancestral land that had been destroyed beyond recognition. They wanted to cry, but no tears came out. Hiding at the foot of a mountain outside the 7 Spirit Mountains, the sisters Hua Lulan and Hong Lan were trembling with fear when they heard the earth-shaking explosions. "Big sis, let's leave," Lulan said. "They haven't come out for so long, they've probably been killed by the 7 Spirit Fox Tribe's experts." Honglan hesitated for a moment, then nodded. However, just as the two of them were about to leave, they were stunned. Several figures flew out from the Seven Spirit Mountains direction. It was the blue-robed young man from before. "Are you all right?" Lulan looked at Lu Yiping in shock. Lu Yiping smiled. "I'm old friends with the Seven Spirit Fox Tribe's patriarch, Hu Zhua." Indeed, they were old friends. He had met Hu Zhua in the Cave of Fallen Gods. Old friends? Honglan looked suspiciously at Lu Yiping. "Have you found the green dragon ginseng?" Lu Yiping changed the topic and asked with a smile. Hearing Lu Yiping mention this, Lu Lan was a little embarrassed. She nodded and said, "I found it. Thank you for your help." Lu Yiping smiled and said, "It was nothing much. Furthermore, the one who attacked was my subordinate." He pointed at Ba Dao. Lu Lan and Honglan thanked Ba Dao, which made Ba Dao feel a little embarrassed. He knew that with his strength, in front of Lu Yiping, he was just displaying his slight skill in front of an expert. "Since you found the green dragon ginseng, let's go." Lu Yiping said, "I have something to ask your father." Lu Lan asked with a curious look, "Sir wants to ask about the profound flower sword art?" Lu Yiping nodded. "I've heard of this mystic flower sword technique from my father. He obtained it in the Void Plane many years ago," Lu Lan said. "The Void Plane?" Lu Yiping was surprised. They chatted as they walked and left the Seven Spirit Mountains. Half a day later, Lu Yiping's group arrived at a valley. The valley wasn't big, but there were flowers and trees. However, these flowers and trees were of ordinary species, and their age was not high. It seemed like they were newly planted. The valley's layout was not bad, and one could see the women's thoughts. The two sisters and their father lived in two caves in the valley. The caves were like a small mansion. When they arrived, the two sisters' father was sitting cross-legged on a cold jade bed, circulating his qi to treat his injuries. The two sisters' father, Yu Zhifang, was startled when he saw Lu Yiping's group. However, when he heard that Lu Yiping's group had helped them retrieve the green dragon ginseng, his vigilance eased a lot. Even so, Yu Zhifang still looked at Lu Yiping suspiciously. Lu Yiping didn't mind. The two sisters took out the green dragon ginseng and helped Yu Zhifang refine the medicinal energy inside. However, Yu Zhifang's injuries were very serious. Although the green dragon ginseng was not bad, it could only temporarily suppress his injuries. Seeing this, Lu Yiping took out the several dozen meters tall tree ginseng he had obtained from the myriad gods' master's cultivation dwelling. The tree ginseng rose into the air, and golden medicinal energy poured down like a waterfall into Yu Zhifang's body. Yu Zhifang was almost suffocated by this terrifying medicinal energy, but he was pleasantly surprised to find that his injuries were recovering at an astonishing speed. In a dozen breaths' time, his injuries were completely healed. The two sisters looked at Yu Zhifang's ruddy complexion, his breathing stable, and even stronger than before he was injured. They couldn't help but stare at the several dozen meters tall tree ginseng in shock. They had never heard of a ginseng that was several dozen meters tall. Moreover, this ginseng was golden in color. There was such a species of ginseng in this world? Yu Zhifang had also never seen such a ginseng before, and was also shocked. Lu Yiping took back the tree ginseng. Yu Zhifang felt a sense of loss. He had a feeling that if he could borrow this ginseng's medicinal energy to cultivate for a few more days, he might even be able to break through again. Seeing that Yu Zhifang's injuries had recovered, Lu Yiping asked about the profound flower sword style. Yu Zhifang hesitated for a moment, and finally said, "I found this profound flower sword style on an island in the Scattered Star Sea." "Oh, the Scattered Star Sea." Lu Yiping pondered for a moment, then asked, "Do you remember which island it was?" Yu Zhifang shook his head. "I found it more than 10,000 years ago. At that time, I was being chased by sea beasts, and in a panic, I fled to that island. I don't remember which island it was." Taurus Longjiao saw that Yu Zhifang was deliberately hiding something, and sneered, "You don't remember? Then you should at least remember the approximate location, right?" He Xia and the other three frowned. Previously, they had saved the two women and helped them retrieve the azure dragon ginseng. Now, Lu Yiping was using the tree ginseng to heal Yu Zhifang's injuries. Not only did Yu Zhifang not say a word of thanks, he even deliberately hid the location of the island. Lu Yiping said, "If you bring me to that island, these 2 drops of star chaos water will be yours." 2 drops of star chaos water appeared in his hand. The 2 drops of star chaos water in Lu Yiping's palm flickered with starlight, and chaos energy filled the air. Star chaos water. Yu Zhifang and the 2 women were shocked. Yu Zhifang swallowed hard, and looked at Lu Yiping, somewhat embarrassed, and said, "Young master helped me recover, so it's only right for me to bring young master to that island. How can I accept young master's treasures?" Lu Yiping waved his hand, and then gave the 2 drops of star chaos water to Yu Zhifang. "In that case, shall we set off now?" Lu Yiping asked. "All right, young master, please wait a moment, I'll pack up," Yu Zhifang said. Moments later, Lu Yiping's group left the 9 Stars realm, and headed to the Void realm. Due to the long journey and the dangers of the galaxy, the 2 women did not follow. After leaving the 9 Stars realm, Lu Yiping took out the Black Dragon flying ship. Yu Zhifang looked at the 1000 Zhonglong, pitch-black Black Dragon flying ship in front of him, and was stunned. He didn't even know how he got on the flying ship. After everyone boarded, their innate spiritual veins activated the flying ship's array, and in an instant, the flying ship turned into a streak of black light, tearing through the galaxy as it sped towards the Void realm. Chapter 229. Along the way, the Black Dragon flying ship passed through galactic storms and hailstones. Yu Zhifang watched as the Black Dragon flying ship blasted away the galactic storms that could tear a peak late-stage realm lord to shreds. His mouth went dry. After the Black Dragon flying ship destroyed the galactic storms, Yu Zhifang took out the 2 drops of star chaos water and returned them to Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping looked at the trembling Yu Zhifang and said, "Since it's for you, you should accept it." Only then did Yu Zhifang feel relieved. The Void Plane was the first plane among the 17 planes. It was also the largest and most prosperous plane among the 17 planes. When they arrived at the Void Plane, Lu Yiping put away the Black Dragon spaceship. He and the others broke through the plane's boundary and entered the Void Plane's space. They didn't linger and flew straight to the Scattered Star Sea. The Scattered Star Sea was the largest sea in the Void Plane. It was located in the south of the Void Plane. With Lu Yiping's speed, it would take them 3 to 4 days to reach the Scattered Star Sea. When Lu Yiping's group arrived at the Scattered Star Sea, the sun was shining brightly. The Scattered Star Sea was lively and festive. After asking around, Lu Yiping's group found out that the Scattered Star Sea's sea tribes were holding a 4-Seas sacred assembly. The Scattered Star Sea was the 3rd largest force in the Void Plane. It was formed by many sea tribes. Every 100 years, they would hold a 4-Seas sacred assembly. This 4-Seas sacred assembly was the grandest event in the Scattered Star Sea. Of course, it was also one of the biggest events in the Void Plane. Therefore, the Scattered Star Sea's 4-Seas sacred assembly was attended by many super forces in the Void Plane. Other than the Maha clan and their subordinates, almost all the other super forces in the Void Plane would attend the 4-Seas sacred assembly. With Yu Zhifang leading the way, the group flew towards the island Yu Zhifang mentioned. Although the Scattered Star Sea was the territory of the 4-Seas sea tribes, it didn't forbid other people from entering. Therefore, Lu Yiping's group wasn't obstructed. After flying for a while, Yu Zhifang pointed at a huge island in front of them and said, "Sir, it's that island." Lu Yiping looked over and saw that the island was very big. It was like a small continent floating on the sea. There was no spiritual energy on the island and it was overgrown with weeds. It was obviously a deserted island. Soon, Lu Yiping's group arrived at the deserted island and landed. After 10,000 years, there had been some changes to the island. For example, the mountainous areas were now filled with all sorts of plants, and some mountains had been flattened. Relying on his memory, Yu Zhifang led Lu Yiping and the others to the south of the island. However, just as Lu Yiping's group was heading south of the island, they suddenly heard voices in front of them. Incinerate all the corpses of the beasts and clean them up for me. One of them said. Yes, young master. Lu Yiping and the others exchanged glances. It seemed that someone had killed someone on this deserted island and wanted to destroy the evidence. Although it was strange, Lu Yiping's group did not stop moving. In the next moment, they saw a group of Sea Tribe experts burning a pile of corpses with divine fire. These corpses were large and tall, belonging to the beasts. It's the Sea God Tribe's experts. Yu Zhifang was alarmed. The group of Sea Tribe experts in front were clad in indigo battle armor with strange patterns engraved on them. It was the Sea God Tribe's emblem. The Sea God Tribe was the royal family of the Four Seas Sea Tribes. The Sea God Tribe's patriarch was the Sea God Tribe's Sea Lord, and the several dozen Sea Tribes were ruled by the Sea God Tribe. Yu Zhifang's heart skipped a beat when he saw the group of Sea God Tribe experts. Sure enough, more than 30 Sea God Tribe experts looked over at them at this time. The Sea God Tribe experts were surprised to see people coming over. Very few people came to this deserted island. Young master, what should we do? One of the Sea Tribe experts asked the Sea God Tribe's young man. The Sea God Tribe's young man's eyes were filled with killing intent as he said, they can only blame their bad luck, kill them all. Naturally, the fact that they killed the beasts must not be exposed. These beasts weren't ordinary beasts, they were the Tiger King tribe. In an instant, more than a dozen Sea Tribe experts stepped out from the Sea Tribe's group, flying towards Lu Yiping's group. More than a dozen of them suddenly slashed their swords at Lu Yiping's group. Sword chi filled the air, soaring to the sky. These people were all peak late-stage Heavenly God realm experts, the kind that could step into the World Lord realm at any time. Yu Zhifang was alarmed. However, just as these dozen people's sword chi was about to reach Lu Yiping, Qiyu waved his hand. In an instant, a fiery light slashed out. Waves of fire soared to the sky, and these waves of fire had a strange silver hue to them. In an instant, all the sword chi was split apart, and the Sea Tribe experts were hit by the fiery light. The divine armor on their bodies cracked, and they were sent flying, vomiting mouthfuls of blood. The Sea Tribe's experts were shocked and surprised. Silver light slash. The Sea Imperial Tribe's young man's gaze fell on Qiyu, his eyes burning with desire. You're from the Zephyr sect. The silver light slash was the Zephyr sect's ultimate technique. The Zephyr sect's strength was not weak. Although it was not ranked in the Void World's top 10 super forces, it was still one of the top 20 super forces. In the past, Qiyu was indeed one of the Zephyr sect's ancestors. Qiyu did not speak. The Sea Imperial Tribe's young man glanced at Lu Yiping's group, his brows furrowed, then he smiled. I didn't expect you to be from the Zephyr sect, may I know what you're here for? Then, he added, I hope you can forget what you saw just now, or else what? Lu Yiping asked indifferently. Or else, it's a small matter if something happens to you, but it won't be good if the Zephyr sect is implicated, right? The Sea Imperial Tribe's young man smiled innocently. However, just as he finished speaking, Taurus Longjiao slapped him across the face, and the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man was slammed into the island's ground. The ground rumbled loudly. Sand and gravel splashed everywhere. The Sea Tribe's experts were stupefied, looking dumbfounded at the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man who was stuck into the island's ground with only his buttocks exposed. Young Lord! The Sea Tribe's experts scrambled to rescue the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man from the giant pit. When the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man was rescued, his entire face was crooked, and the Sea Imperial Tribe's experts almost couldn't recognize him. It took a long time for the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man to recover, and he glared at Taurus Longjiao in shock and anger. Let's go. However, he didn't say anything and simply said to the Sea Tribe's experts. Then, the Sea Imperial Tribe's young man flew away with the help of the Sea Tribe's experts. Watching the Sea Tribe's experts leaving, Yu Zhifang said worriedly, they're from the Sea Imperial Tribe, and that young man's identity isn't simple. We'd better leave quickly, otherwise, when they come with the Sea Imperial Tribe's experts, we won't be able to leave even if we want to. Leave? Why do we have to leave? Taurus Longjiao laughed. It'd be better if they come with the Sea Imperial Tribe's experts. Chapter 230. As the dragon horn golden bull spoke, a small fish appeared in his hand. He slapped his palm with the small fish and said with a smile, "They better have more people. That way, I can practice my hand strength more." Yu Zhifang looked suspiciously at the small fish in Taurus Longjiao's hand. He didn't know if it was his imagination, but the small fish in Taurus Longjiao's hand looked terrified. "Where is it?" Lu Yiping turned around and asked Yu Zhifang. Yu Zhifang regained his senses and pointed ahead. "It should be right there." Then, he added, 10,000 years have passed, this island's terrain has changed a lot, so it's hard to recognize. Thus, he continued to lead Lu Yiping's group forward. While Lu Yiping's group was heading towards the place where Yu Zhifang had obtained the profound flower sword art, the Sea God Tribe's young man left the island under the protection of the Sea Tribe's experts. After leaving the island and flying for a while, the Sea God Tribe's young man recalled the scene just now. The more he thought about it, the angrier he became. "Zephyr Wind Sect, damn you, you're courting death, you're courting death." He roared in anger. His father was the Sea God Tribe's Sea God Temple's Hall Master. Even the Sea God Tribe's patriarch, the Scattered Star Sea Lord, had to show respect to his father. He had never been slapped in such a manner before. "Young Lord, should we go back now?" one of the Sea Tribe's experts asked. Indifferent light flickered in the Sea God Tribe's young man's eyes. "No need. No need." Everyone was stunned. Huada sneered. "At that time, we'll inform the Beastmen experts that the Tiger King Tribe's people were killed by these people." The Sea Tribe's experts looked at each other and laughed. "Young Lord is wise, the Beastmen experts can kill two birds with one stone," one of the Sea Tribe's experts said with a smile. Huada laughed. "The Beastmen's patriarch is also here for this Four Seas Sacred Assembly, right?" "He's already here, he's in the Sea God City," one of them answered. "All right, let's return to the Ocean Emperor City first and inform the Beast Clan's patriarch." Huada smiled and said, "When the Beast Clan's patriarch comes with experts and sees the corpses of the beasts, they will be caught red-handed. They won't be able to deny it even if they want to." Immediately, they sped up and headed back to the Sea Monarch City. Along the way, Huada touched his swollen face. "Indifferent," he said, "even though the beasts killed those people, I still can't get rid of the hatred in my heart." "Young master, what do you mean?" one of them asked carefully. Huada asked, "Check if the experts of the Strong Wind sect have come to participate in the Four Seas Sacred Assembly." Everyone immediately understood what Huada meant and started investigating. Very quickly, everyone found out that the Zephyr Wind sect was on the list of the super sects that had come to participate in the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. Hearing his subordinates report, Huada sneered. "The Zephyr Wind sect leader personally led more than 20 experts of the Zephyr Wind sect here, right?" Since that was the case, there was no need for the Zephyr sect to return. His entire body was filled with killing intent. At this moment, Lu Yiping and the others finally arrived at the cave where Yu Zhifang had found the profound flower sword technique. The cave was underground on the deserted island. Lu Yiping stared at the words and images on the walls of the cave. These were the diagrams and annotations of the profound flower sword technique. Someone had used a sword to carve them on the walls. Perhaps because of the passage of time, the diagrams and annotations were already blurred. "It's Lady Luo Shui's handwriting," Taurus Longjiao said. Although the diagrams and annotations were blurred, Taurus Longjiao was still able to recognize it. Lu Yiping nodded his head and did not speak. Yu Zhifang stood at the side and did not speak. Actually, he only knew that this sword technique was called the Profound Flower Sword Technique. As for who left it behind and which sect it belonged to, he did not know. Lu Yiping continued to look at the diagrams and annotations on the walls. After he was done, he started to walk around the cave. The cave was not big, only a few hundred square meters. Other than the diagrams and annotations on the walls, there was only a stone table and a few stone chairs. This seemed to be a cave that Luo Shui had stayed in for a short period of time. At this moment, Lu Yiping arrived at the center of the cave. Suddenly, he raised his hand and pressed it against the ground. The ground of the cave was blasted open. A black hole appeared in the ground. Yu Zhifang was astonished. Could it be that there was another secret to this cave? But when he had searched it in the past, he did not find anything strange. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walked into the black hole. Taurus Longjiao ordered He Xia and the others to guard the entrance and not let anyone else in. Of course, this included Yu Zhifang. Yu Zhifang, who had wanted to follow them in, could only stay outside with He Xia and the others. After Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao entered the black hole, an hour passed and they still did not come out. At this time, in the Sea God City, the Beast Tribe Patriarch Ma Ku stood up angrily and asked Hua De, "Is that true?" Hua De laughed, "Why would I joke with Patriarch Ma Ku about such matters? If you don't believe me, you can go to the deserted island and check it out. However, an hour has already passed, I wonder if they are still there." Ma Ku immediately stood up and summoned a group of experts from the Beast Tribe. They tore through the air and headed towards the deserted island Hua De mentioned. As for Hua De, after some thought, he said to his subordinates, "Go and invite the Zephyr Wind Sect Patriarch. Tell him that I have something to ask the Zephyr Zhongzhong people. Tell them to come to my residence." One of Hua Da's subordinates said, "Young master, now is the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. If we make a move in the Sea God City, I'm afraid it won't be good for us. Why don't we wait until the Four Seas Sacred Assembly ends and they leave the scattered star seas?" Hua De hesitated for a moment before nodding, "All right." On the deserted island, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were inside the black hole, flipping through many ancient books. These books were left behind by Luo Shui in the past. By the time they finished reading these books, 2 hours had passed. Lu Yiping put away these books and exited the cave with Taurus Longjiao. Black Demon and the others walked up to them. "Let's go out first," Lu Yiping said. The few of them left the cave and returned to the surface. However, just as they exited the cave, they saw a large group of experts flying towards them. "It's the Beast Tribe." Chi Yu narrowed her eyes. In the blink of an eye, the Beast Tribe experts arrived at the place where the Sea Tribe experts were handling the corpses. Because the Sea God Tribe experts were interrupted by Lu Yiping's group when they were handling the Beastmen's corpses, the Tiger King Tribe experts' corpses were still there. The Beast Tribe Patriarch Ma Ku's eyes turned red when he saw the Tiger King Tribe experts' corpses. He raised his head and looked at Lu Yiping's group, enunciating each word clearly, "You killed them? Other than them, there is no one else on this deserted island. They must be the ones who killed the Tiger King Tribe experts." One of the Beast Tribe experts roared. Taurus Longjiao laughed, "Looks like those Sea God Tribe bastards lured these beastmen here. Not bad, borrowing the beastman's knife to kill." At this time, the Beast Tribe Patriarch Ma Ku led a group of beastmen experts towards Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao, blocking Lu Yiping's group's escape route. Chapter 231. One of the beast race experts suddenly punched towards Lu Yiping and the others. However, just as he made his move, he was sent flying by Chi Yu's silver light slash. When the Beast Tribe Patriarch Ma Ku saw Chi Yu's attack, his gaze turned even colder. Silver light slash. "You really are from the Zephyr sect?" Chi Yu said coldly, "We didn't kill them. Before our master gets angry, it's not too late for you to scram." Hearing this, the Beast Tribe Patriarch Mark roared with laughter, "Before your master gets angry?" His gaze fell on Lu Yiping. "This guy is your master?" His palm struck out at Lu Yiping, "I'll smash him into meat paste first." The planar laws entwined around his palm, and the light of his palm grew brighter. Although the beast race wasn't as powerful as the scattered star sea, they were still one of the top 10 superpowers in the void plane, ranked 7th. Mark wasn't weak at all. He had over 24 million planar laws. After all, the Magic Dragon Palace's Dragon Gang plane only had 250,000 laws. One was more than 20 million, while the other was 250,000. That was nearly 100 times. Of course, his combat strength was far more than 100 times. Not to mention He Xia, Qiu, and the other three were unable to block Ma Ke's palm strike. Even the combined might of several hundred Long Gang could not block Ma Ke's palm strike. However, just as his palm was about to hit Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao's Xiao Xiaoyu smashed it with his club. Ma Ke only saw a fish-shaped afterimage flash in front of his eyes before he was struck by an unimaginable force that sent him flying. Ma Ke was blasted through several mountain peaks. Hundreds of mountain peaks were blasted into smithereens. After being blasted through, he smashed into the sea outside the desolate island. Thousands of huge waves were formed on the sea surface. The hundreds of beast race experts were all stunned. Even Yu Zhifang was stunned. Although the beast race's patriarch mark wasn't on the god ranking list, his fame still shook the 17 plains. Even he knew who the beast race's patriarch mark was. "You're not from the Zephyr sect." One of the beast men looked at Taurus Longjiao in shock and anger. It was impossible for the Zephyr sect to have such an expert. Taurus Longjiao laughed, "Of course we're not from the Zephyr sect." At this point, the Kunpeng in Taurus Longjiao's hand suddenly expanded 10 million times, becoming the size of a deserted island. Yu Zhifang was dumbfounded when he saw the little fish in Taurus Longjiao's hand grow to the size of a deserted island. Previously, when Taurus Longjiao held the little fish and slapped it like a toy, he didn't pay much attention to it. Now, he realized that poverty had limited his imagination. How was this a small fish? This was simply a ferocious beast. Compared to Yu Zhifang's dumbfounded expression, the beast race experts were even more terrified. "This is the divine beast Kunpeng." The beast expert from earlier shouted in horror, "You are a 9th Revolution war god." At this moment, the Kunpeng in Taurus Longjiao's hand fell. Hundreds of beast men were sent flying by the attack. Like frightened birds, they flew away in all directions. However, the way he flew was a little special. The hundreds of beasts were sent flying. Just like the beast race patriarch mark, they all crashed into the sea outside the deserted island. It was as if hundreds of super bombs had been dropped on the surface of the sea. Tens of thousands of huge waves were blown up. From afar, hundreds of deep craters appeared on the surface of the sea. After a long time, the huge waves fell from the sky. The hundreds of deep craters slowly recovered and were once again covered by the surrounding seawater. Yu Zhifang was stunned speechless. He looked at Taurus Longjiao's arm and realized that Taurus Longjiao's arm was even thicker than his thigh. This golden-haired man, Lord Shaojin, was a 9th Revolution war god. Then wasn't this blue-robed young man? He looked at Lu Yiping and his face turned even paler. After Lu Yiping killed Fu Zongsheng and twisted off Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong's head, it was no secret that Lu Yiping always had a golden-haired 9th Revolution war god by his side. This 9th Revolution war god's weapon was a divine beast Kunpeng. Moreover, he had always liked the wooden club posture. "Master, shall we take a stroll in the sea god city?" Taurus Longjiao put away the wooden club and asked. Let's take a stroll," Lu Yiping said. The group soared into the sky and flew in the direction of the sea god city. Of course, it was just a stroll and a walk. When they arrived, it was more than just a stroll and a walk. Lu Yiping looked at the bewildered Yu Zhifang and said, "You can leave now. You don't need to follow us to the sea god city." Hearing this, Yu Zhifang was relieved. He thanked Lu Yiping and left. Although Lu Yiping was ranked 10th on the god list, it was not worth it to follow Lu Yiping and offend the entire Scattered Star Ocean. The Scattered Star Ocean was not only the 3rd strongest force in the Void Plane, but also the 4th strongest force in the 17 planes. The Scattered Star Ocean's great ancestor was ranked 6th on the god list. Just as Lu Yiping and the others were flying towards the Sea God City, the Sea Tribe Grand Competition was being held in the central square. The Sea Tribe Grand Competition was the most important segment of the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. It was a competition between the Sea Tribe's younger generation disciples, and the top 3 would be rewarded handsomely. The Sea Tribe Grand Competition would not only be watched by the Sea Tribe, but also by the other tribes' experts who came to participate in the Four Seas Sacred Assembly. During a break in the competition, Huada, who was sitting beside the Sea God Temple's temple master, signaled to one of his subordinates. That expert understood and soared into the sky, landing in the center of the square. The Sea God Temple's expert swept his gaze over the various experts, and in the end, his gaze fell on Zhongzhong's group. I've long heard that the Zhongzhong sect's silver light slash is powerful. This one's strength is weak, so I'd like to experience it. I wonder which one of the Zhongzhong sect's experts is willing to give me face and come down to spar. The Sea God Temple's expert said proudly. Hearing this, the various tribes' experts all looked towards the Zhongzhong sect. Everyone's expression changed. Clearly, this Sea God Temple's expert was targeting the Zhongzhong sect. Did the Zhongzhong sect offend the Sea God Temple? Or did they offend the Sea God Temple? Sea God Temple's temple master Huate glanced at his son, Huada, but did not stop him. He had already heard from his subordinates that his son, Huada, had been slapped by the Zhongzhong sect's expert. And, the Zhongzhong sect's people should learn their lesson. The Zhongzhong's group did not expect that the Sea God Temple's expert would suddenly come down to spar with the Zhongzhong sect. The Zhongzhong sect's sect master, Yudawe, hesitated. Our Zhongzhong sect's silver light slash is an insignificant technique. How could we dare to compare with the Sea God Temple's secret technique? There's no need to spar. Hearing this, Huada sneered. What? Does the Zhongzhong sect disdain to spar with our Sea God Temple's experts? Are you looking down on our Sea God Temple? Yudawe's face turned ugly. Could it be that one of his tribesmen had offended the Sea God Temple's young temple master? In the end, he forced a smile and said, if that's the case, then my sect's expert will spar with the Sea God Temple's expert. Then, he signaled one of the Zhongzhong sect's experts to step down. That Zhongzhong sect's expert understood and leaped into the air, arriving at the center of the square. However, before this Zhongzhong sect's expert could speak, the Sea God Temple's expert was already in front of him. A fist punched out, directly piercing through the Zhongzhong sect's expert's chest, right through his heart. The Zhongzhong sect's expert's eyes widened in disbelief as he looked at the hand that pierced through his heart. The Sea God Temple's expert's face twisted in anger. Chapter 232. What? Everyone was surprised. They didn't expect that the Sea Imperial clan's expert would suddenly attack. Moreover, his attack pierced through the Sea Emperor's heart. This was simply a killing blow. Was the enmity between the Sea God Palace and the Zephyr sect so great? The Zephyr sect's sect master, Yudawe, and the others were also shocked, their faces filled with anger. At this time, the Sea Imperial tribe's expert shook violently, sending the Zephyr Wind sect's expert flying. Father! One of the Zephyr sect's female disciples rushed to the side of the Zephyr sect's expert. She sobbed as she glared at the Sea Imperial family's expert, despicable, shameless. Just now, before the competition started, the Sea Imperial tribe's experts suddenly attacked. That was a sneak attack. However, the experts from all sides remained silent. The Sea God tribe's experts sneered, exchanging pointers on the same stage. There is only victory and defeat, a loss is a loss. What, your Zephyr Wind sect can't afford to lose? Zhongzhong Lai was furious. At this moment, the Sea Imperial clan's expert suddenly threw a punch at the Zephyr sect's female disciple. Since you've stepped down, let's exchange pointers. The fist waves rolled and instantly blasted in front of the Zephyr sect female disciple. This Sea Sovereign clan expert was a peak late-stage plane lord, while the Zephyr sect's female disciple was only a heavenly god. If this punch landed, the Zephyr sect's female disciple wouldn't just have her heart pierced, she would explode. Just as the Sea God tribe's expert was about to blast the Zephyr Wind sect's female disciple to death, a silhouette suddenly leaped into the air, blocking between the two, and punched out. The Sea Sovereign tribe's expert's fist was blasted away, and he was forced to retreat. Everyone looked over and saw that it was the Zephyr sect's sect leader, Yudawe. Although Yudawe had just broken through to the Plane Master realm, he wasn't someone that a peak late-stage Plane Master could withstand. Yudawe had shown mercy earlier, and this Sea Imperial clan expert was sent flying instead of being repelled. Indifferent smile appeared on Hua Da's face when he saw Yu Dawei taking action. What he wanted was for Yu Dawei to take action. He would deal with Yu Dawei first and collect some interest. When Lai Feng Zhongzhong and his men returned, he would deal with them all on the way. Hua Da looked pleadingly at his father, Sea God Palace Master Hua Te. Hua Te nodded to one of his subordinates. That expert understood and flew into the air, landing in the middle of the square. Zephyr Wind sect leader is really strong. The newly arrived Sea God Temple expert looked at Yu Dawei and said indifferently, however, you sneakily attacked a junior of my Sea God tribe. This is not befitting of a sect master. Just as Yu Dawei was about to open his mouth to defend himself, the Sea God's Hall expert suddenly sent a palm strike towards Yu Dawei. Planar laws roared as the palm strike tore through the air. Yu Dawei's face changed as he retreated in shock. Both of his hands slashed out and a wave of fire soared into the sky. It was the Zephyr Wind sect's silver light cut. However, the Sea God Temple's expert instantly shattered the silver light slash, and his momentum did not stop there. In the blink of an eye, he was already in front of Yu Dawei. Yu Dawei retreated in panic, but the Sea Deity Hall's expert was simply too fast. With an unstoppable momentum, he slammed into Yu Dawei's chest. Yu Dawei was sent tumbling back until he crashed into the plaza's barrier. The square was in an uproar. Everyone looked over in shock. They saw a fist imprint on Yu Dawei's chest. Although it hadn't been pierced through, his heart meridians had been shattered. Then, a large blade appeared in the Sea God Temple's expert's hand. His eyes were cold as he slashed down at Yu Dawei's head. The other party's speed was too fast. Even if Lai Feng Zhongzhong wanted to stop him, he couldn't. His face paled as he called out, "Sect Master." Watching the large blade fall, Hua Da revealed a smile. Just as the other party's large blade was about to reach Yu Dawei's head, the sound of something breaking through the air came from the distant horizon. This was the sound of a sonic boom due to the extreme speed. Everyone looked over and saw a large silver blade emitting shocking flames piercing through the air. This silver blade's speed was unparalleled. Before anyone could react, it had already arrived in front of the Sea God Temple's expert. The Sea God Temple's expert reflexively raised his blade, wanting to block the attack. However, the silver blade directly pierced through the blade in his hand and into his chest. The Sea God Temple's expert was sent flying by the force of the silver blade. In the end, he and the silver blade stabbed into a stone pillar on the main stage. Clang! The silver blade pierced through the stone pillar. The stone pillar shook violently, shattering countless small stones. This sudden scene stunned everyone. Even the Zhongzhong sect and Sea God Temple's experts were dumbfounded. What happened? Did the Zhongzhong sect's expert save the Zhongzhong sect's sect master? Someone asked doubtfully. Impossible, the Zhongzhong sect's 26 experts are all here. A human expert shook his head. The Sea God Temple's expert who was nailed to the stone pillar looked at the silver blade pierce through his chest in disbelief. He reached out to pull the silver blade out, but no matter how hard he tried, it wouldn't budge. His body's world laws surged, but even with all his might, he still couldn't pull the silver blade out. Not to mention pulling it out, he couldn't even move it. It was as if there was a supreme power attached to the silver blade. Seeing this, everyone looked at each other in dismay. Another Sea God Temple's expert also came to the front of the silver blade. 10 million world laws wrapped around his body as he tried to pull the silver blade out, but he couldn't. Just like this, the Sea God Temple's expert was nailed to the stone pillar by the silver blade, hanging high in the air like a hanging corpse. The Sea God Temple's Hall Master Hua Te's face was gloomy, but he didn't make a move. Instead, he looked in the direction the silver blade came from and shouted, "Which scoundrel dares to attack my Sea God Temple? Why don't you show yourself?" Just as Hua Te's words fell, he saw a streak of golden hair piercing through the air from the distant horizon. This streak of golden hair was very long, more than 10 meters long. It was as thick as a human thigh, and it shot towards Hua Te at a terrifying speed. What kind of hair is this? How can there be such a big hair in this world? Could it be the hair of the desolate golden dragon tiger? Even the desolate golden dragon tiger's hair isn't this big. Before everyone's shocked eyes, the golden retriever de Mao arrived in front of Huate in an instant. Huate roared and a long spear appeared in his hand. This long spear was several meters long, and it was also flickering with a golden light. He abruptly thrust the spear out. With Huate's power, the golden spear emitted a terrifying power. World laws coiled around the spear, reaching more than 30 million. Once one broke through 30 million world laws, they would be a late-stage world controller. Even in the void world, they would be a supreme overlord. There were many experts on the god list, but some were only peak late-stage world controllers. Huate's golden spear met de Mao's attack. Zhang! Light sputtered, and the sound of metal colliding echoed. Chapter 233. Just when everyone thought that Huate's spear would pierce through the golden retriever, which was bigger than a desolate golden dragon tiger's fur, Huate felt an unimaginable force rushing towards him. Pain shot up his arm, and he lost his grip on the golden spear. The golden spear in his hand was sent flying. The golden spear flew out from his hand, and when it was sent flying, the Sea God Temple's experts saw that Huate's golden spear was actually broken. Broken into several sections. The Sea God Temple's experts were shocked. They knew that their Hall Master's golden spear was a high-grade acquired spiritual treasure passed down from a sea tribe's invincible ancestor 200,000 years ago. But now, this upper-grade acquired spirit treasure golden spear had actually been shattered into several pieces. Huate also couldn't believe his eyes as he looked at the broken golden spear. This golden retriever, which was bigger than a desolate golden dragon tiger's fur, was so powerful. Could a single strand of hair be tougher than his high-grade acquired spiritual treasure? Was there such a terrifying hair in this world? In this world, what kind of demonic beast's fur could be so powerful? However, he didn't have time to think about it, because the golden retriever's speed did not slow down, and it was still flying towards him. He leaped into the air, letting out a loud roar. Light burst out from his eyes, and runes appeared all over his body, forming a black tortoise-shaped defensive barrier. Black Tortoise Barrier. The Sea Tribe's strongest defensive technique. With Huate's strength, even a late-stage Lord of Life Realm expert who was much stronger than him would have a hard time breaking this Black Tortoise Barrier. A Sea Tribe ancestor with 10 million planar laws had once used this technique to fight against a powerful enemy. His enemy had 20 million planar laws, 10 million more than him, yet he still couldn't break through the Black Tortoise's barrier. From this, one could imagine how strong this barrier was. This Black Tortoise barrier was passed down from the ancient times, and even then, it was an amazing defensive technique. Huate had confidence in this Black Tortoise barrier's strength. But, as a precaution, he still activated the defensive formation on his inner armor. Boom! When the golden retriever's giant hair slammed into the Black Tortoise barrier, black light burst out from the barrier. The Black Tortoise boundary formation emitted layers of black light, but right at this time, the Black Tortoise boundary formation seemed to be struck by an unimaginable force. The entire Black Tortoise boundary formation crumbled, completely dispersing. Then, the golden fur pierced Huate's body. Almost at the same time, the defensive inner armor inside Huate's body was also pierced. The golden hair, which was tens of meters long and as thick as a thigh, pierced through Huate's chest without any resistance. The powerful force carried Huate into the air and then pierced into another stone pillar on the rostrum. The huge golden hair pierced through the stone pillar, and the stone pillar was also pierced through. Everyone was stunned as they looked at Huate, who was also pierced through and shot into the stone pillar. Huate was the Sea Tribe Sea God's Temple Master, one of the top 10 Sea Tribe experts, and the host of this year's Sea Tribe Grand Competition. But now, he was pierced by a golden retriever and stabbed into a stone pillar on the main stage. Just because Huate called him a scoundrel? This scoundrel was a little stubborn. Blood dripped down from the golden retriever. This was Huate's blood. The other Sea God's Temple experts were also dumbfounded. Perhaps it was the other side's strength that shocked them, but no one dared to step forward. Huate, like the sea god's temple expert, wanted to pull out the golden retriever from his chest. But even if he used all his strength, he still couldn't pull the golden retriever out. Huate was alarmed. He raised his head and looked in the direction the golden retriever came from. Everyone followed his gaze and saw several figures approaching from the distant horizon. One of them was a blue-robed young man. The other was a golden retriever. To be exact, it was a golden retriever man. There were also 4 old men in their twilight years. Seeing that it was Lu Yiping's group, the sea god's temple master Huade was stunned. He couldn't believe it was them. Huate looked angrily at Lu Yiping's group, who were slowly approaching from the horizon. "Who are you?" Many of the experts who had come to watch the Sea Clan tournament had attended Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong's birthday banquet. When they saw Lu Yiping, they looked as if they had seen a ghost. They were so scared that their faces turned pale. Lu Yiping, ranked 10th on the God ranking list. An ancestor said with a stiff tongue. Because of his stiff tongue, he couldn't speak clearly. But many experts still recognized him. What? Lu Yiping. Many people who didn't know Lu Yiping trembled when they heard him. In just 1 month, Lu Yiping had killed 2 experts on the God ranking list. The first impression that Lu Yiping gave the experts of the 17 plains was that he was a god of death. His ferocity was monstrous. If it had been an ordinary expert on the God ranking list, it wouldn't have been a big deal. More importantly, the one who had died was Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong, who had just ascended to 10th on the God ranking list. The Lord of 9 Stars had just ascended to 10th on the God ranking list. She hadn't even sat on the throne when Lu Yiping killed her in less than a day. When the Sea Goddess Palace's young Lord Huade heard that the blue-robed young man in front of him was Lu Yiping, who had just killed the Lord of 9 Stars and replaced her as 10th on the God ranking list, he was so scared that he fell off his seat. Huate and the other experts of the Sea Goddess Palace were so scared that they trembled. In the blink of an eye, Lu Yiping arrived in the air above the plaza where the Sea Clan tournament was being held. Huate stared at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. "My Sea Imperial Clan didn't offend you, did we? You came to my Sea Imperial Clan and attacked us for no reason. What is the meaning of this? Are you trying to make an enemy of the entire Sea Clan in the scattered star seas? We didn't offend you." Lu Yiping said calmly, "Didn't your son tell you that we were the ones who slapped his face?" Huate was stunned. He looked at his son. Huade. Lu Yiping continued, "Your son killed a member of the Tiger King clan on a deserted island. We ran into him and he wanted to silence us." When the experts heard this, they were instantly in an uproar. The Sea Goddess Palace's young lord killed a member of the Tiger King clan. Huate looked at Huade, but Huade avoided his gaze. "After your son escaped, he told the Beast Clan's patriarch that we were the ones who killed him," Taurus Longjiao sneered. The crowd was in an uproar again. Huate stared at his son, Huade, his eyes almost spitting fire. Right now, he really wanted to slap this bastard to death. At that moment, Taurus Longjiao reached out and pulled Huade in front of him. Huate spoke, "My son offended Lord Lu, not knowing Lord Lu's identity. I hope Lord Lu will forgive this lowly one's offense." But before he could finish, Taurus Longjiao exerted force, crushing Huate and the Sea Tribe's experts' faces were ugly. Taurus Longjiao looked down at Huate, "You want us to spare your son just because you say, 'Forgive this lowly one'? Then I'll crush all of you to death right now and then say, 'Forgive this lowly one,' how about that? Lu Yiping, you're too presumptuous. You came to my Sea Imperial City and killed my Sea Tribe's royal family's disciple." Huate's eyes burned with anger. "Let me tell you, my Sea Tribe is not the 9 Imperial City. My Sea Tribe has 7 God ranking list experts, 6,000 plain masters, and an army of 100 billion. Chapter 234. In the 17 plains, there were 100 experts on the God list. But the scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe occupied 7 of them. One had to admit that the sea tribe was strong. For example, the Eternal Plains Devil Dragon Palace and Kunpeng Divine Sect only had 1 or 2 plane masters. But the Scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe had 6,000 plane masters. The Scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe's army of 100 billion wasn't an ordinary army, but an army of 100 billion God Realm experts. The weakest in the army was at the Divine Spirit Realm. Although the Scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe wasn't the strongest force in the 17 planes, they had the most Divine Spirit Realm experts. Taurus Longjiao laughed at Huang Xiaolong's words, only 7 on the God list? Only 6,000 plane masters? An army of 100 billion? So little? It's not even enough for one slap from me. Hua Te and the other experts choked. 7 on the God list, little? Only 6,000 plane masters? Lu Yiping glanced at Hua Te, then suddenly punched out. Lu Yiping's fist emitted spacetime light, causing everyone's eyes to hurt. The force of the punch pierced through space and landed on Hua Te's body. A loud explosion resounded, and the stone pillar was sent flying, breaking into countless pieces. Hua Te, who was hanging on the stone pillar, was also sent flying. The huge golden retriever that was stuck in Hua Te's chest was blasted out from Hua Te's back. When Hua Te crashed to the ground, everyone looked over and saw his body shriveling, as if his vitality was being sucked out. Hua Te's hair was yellow, and his skin was shriveled. He looked like a dying man. Divine Time Fist. Many people were shocked. How can this Lu Yiping know the old Devil Time's Divine Time Fist? The old Devil Time was a terrifying existence from 200,000 years ago. And the current second on the God list was the old Devil Time's successor. Now that everyone saw that Lu Yiping also knew the Divine Time Fist, they couldn't help but stir. At this time, the Zephyr Sect's sect chief, Yu Dawei, stepped forward and bowed to Lu Yiping. Zephyr Sect's Yu Dawei, thanks Lord for saving us. It's nothing. Lu Yiping spoke, allowing Zephyr Sect's Yu Dawei to rise. Chiyu asked the Zephyr Wind sect leader, Yu Dawei, you're Yu Fei's disciple? Yu Dawei looked at Chiyu in surprise. May I know who you are? Chiyu said. Yu Dawei's eyes widened in disbelief as he looked at Chiyu. Your martial uncle Chiyu. Chiyu nodded and sighed. I was imprisoned by someone. It was Master who saved me. Yu Dawei's face was filled with joy. Martial uncle, all these years, Master and the others have been looking for your whereabouts. If Master and the others know that you have returned, they will definitely be very happy. Let's leave this place first, Lu Yiping said. He then left the venue with everyone else. The Zephyr Sect's sect master, Yu Dawei, did not hesitate. He led the Zephyr Sect's experts and left with Lu Yiping and the others. After leaving Sea God City, Yu Dawei nervously invited Lu Yiping and the others to the Zephyr Sect. In a few days, I still have some matters to attend to. Lu Yiping said. He indeed had matters to attend to. Previously, he had asked the True Gold Union to help him inquire about the creation tree. Before leaving the barren island, the True Gold Union had sent him a message, saying that there was news about the creation tree. Therefore, he had to make a trip to the True Gold Union's headquarters. Previously, he had put a bounty of 100 million heaven-grade spirit stones on the True Gold Union's head. It was a huge sum, therefore, he could directly go to the True Gold Union's headquarters to collect information. Hearing that Lu Yiping had matters to attend to and that he would go in a few days, the Zephyr Sect's sect master, Yu Dawei, was overjoyed. He said respectfully, "Thank you, Lord. Our Zephyr Sect will be waiting for Lord's arrival." He then turned to Chiyu and said, "Martial uncle, we will return to the Zephyr Sect first." Yu Dawei nodded. However, before leaving, Lu Yiping took out the tree ginseng and used its medicinal essence to heal Yu Dawei and the other 2 Zephyr Sect's disciples. Under the treatment of the tree ginseng's medicinal essence, Yu Dawei and the other 2's injuries were quickly healed. Not only were they fully healed, but their strength had also increased with the help of the tree ginseng's medicinal essence. Yu Dawei and the others respectfully sent off Lu Yiping and the others. They waited for Lu Yiping and the others to disappear for a long time before returning to the Zephyr Sect. The True Gold Union's headquarters was in the Sioux family city of the Void Plain. The Sioux family city was one of the oldest and largest cities in the Void Plain. There were many legends about the Sioux family city. Some people said that the Sioux family, the largest family in the Sioux family city, was the descendant of the Master of Gods. In the Void Plain, among the top 10 super forces, the Maha clan was ranked first, followed by the Sienkong Island, the Disordered Star Ocean sect. The Star Ocean sect was ranked fourth, and the Sioux family was ranked fifth. The Sioux family had a strong foundation. Although they were ranked fifth, even the Sienkong Island, the Disordered Star Ocean, and the Star Ocean sect had to give way to the Sioux family. Su Yi, the great ancestor of the Sioux family, was ranked fifth on the divine roll, while the great ancestor of the Disordered Star Ocean was only ranked sixth. Moreover, some people said that the Sioux family had an existence that was even stronger than Su Yi. It was just that he had not appeared in the world for hundreds of thousands of years, so he was not ranked on the divine ranking. Some people also said that the Sioux family still had many terrifying methods. No matter which way it was said, everyone agreed that the Sioux family was far stronger than the divine ranking. When Lu Yiping and the others arrived at the Sioux family city, it was noon. The noon sun was a little strong. However, during the day, Taurus Longjiao liked noon the most because the noon sun was the brightest. His golden retriever was also the brightest under the noon sun. Looking at the bright sun in the sky, Taurus Longjiao touched the golden retriever on his head, making the golden retriever on his head shine even brighter. He liked to start from the front of his forehead and then comb it to the back of his head. Sioux Family City. Taurus Longjiao looked at the 3 words on the city gate of the Sioux family city and said, "That kid Su Cheng had many women back then and left behind countless types. This Sioux family must be the seed left behind by one of his women." The Master of Gods, Su Cheng, naturally had many women by his side. As far as Taurus Longjiao knew, there were 20 to 30 of them. But this kid is still thinking about what's in his bowl. He has so many women, but he still can't forget Luo Shui, Taurus Longjiao said again. When it came to the Master of Gods, He Xia, Qiu, Ba Dao, and Longgu all listened attentively. Lu Yiping glanced at Taurus Longjiao. "You had more women back then than that kid Su Cheng." Taurus Longjiao, who was combing his golden hair out of habit, froze. His expression was awkward. "Master, you can't blame me for this. You also know that I'm too handsome." "You do look a little special," Lu Yiping said, referring to the golden retriever. Taurus Longjiao saw that He Xia and the others were still listening attentively and couldn't help but give them a sideways glance. He Xia and the others immediately looked up at the sky. "The clouds are so white today." Then, they began to count the clouds floating in the sky as if they were counting the stars. Lu Yiping smiled and stepped into the Sioux family city. He inquired about the location of the True Gold Alliance's headquarters and headed there. Soon, they arrived at the entrance of the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. They saw that the building of the True Gold Alliance's headquarters was made of golden materials that were even more golden than gold. Taurus Longjiao suddenly felt that his golden hair wasn't that golden. Chapter 235. He Xia, Qiu, and the rest stared blankly at the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. It was also their first time seeing the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. Taurus Longjiao looked at the True Gold Alliance's shiny golden logo and said, "This True Gold Alliance is quite rich." There was a hint of dissatisfaction in his tone. Obviously, he was dissatisfied that the True Gold Alliance's building was more expensive than his gold head. However, this several meters tall logo was made with the rare gold star stone. Just a small piece of this gold star stone was worth an astronomical price. It was obvious that the True Gold Alliance was really rich. The True Gold Alliance was the largest information-gathering organization in the 17 plains. At the same time, it was also the largest trading company in the 17 plains. Every branch had a trading market. It would be strange if they were poor. Lu Yiping smiled and said, "When we go in later, ask if the True Gold Alliance's logo is for sale." Taurus Longjiao was stunned for a moment before he said solemnly, I will listen to master. He Xia and the rest were speechless. Lu Yiping and the rest entered the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. Knowing that Lu Yiping was here to receive information, the True Gold Alliance's disciple led Lu Yiping and the rest to the mission hall. There were a total of 10 halls in the True Gold Alliance's headquarters. Each hall was built with golden walls. It was dazzling. The materials used were not only gold but also expensive. It gave people a feeling of luxury. Even the floor tiles were dark gold in color. Taurus Longjiao said to the True Gold Alliance's disciple, "Your True Gold Alliance is quite rich. Your boss' surname is Jean, right?" The True Gold Alliance's disciple was stunned for a moment before he smiled and said, "I don't dare to say anything else, but our True Gold Alliance is indeed rich. Our alliance leader's surname is Jean." Taurus Longjiao was stunned. He did not expect the True Gold Alliance's alliance leader's surname to be Jean. He smiled and said, "No wonder your True Gold Alliance's buildings are all gold in color." The group arrived at the mission hall. There were quite a lot of people in the hall. It was bustling with activity. Lu Yiping came to the front desk, then took out the reward message token and handed it to the person in charge. The person in charge checked it carefully before he handed the jade token recording the message to Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping's spiritual consciousness seeped into the jade card and saw the information that the Real Gold Alliance had gathered. The Su clan from the purgatory of Mahanata, Lu Yiping thought. According to the True Gold League, the Su family's patriarch had found the building tree block in the purgatory of Mahanata. The Su clan was the Su clan in the Su clan city. The purgatory of Mahanata was in the territory of the Mahanata clan. The person in charge of the information hall's front desk was a great beauty. The dragon horn golden bull asked with a smile, "Little girl, is your chief here? I want to buy something with him." The person in charge smiled and said, "What would you like to buy?" "This is the mission information hall. You can head over to our trading hall to take a look." Before Taurus Longjiao could say anything, Lu Yiping grabbed him by the neck and dragged him away from the front desk. "Master, it's rare for you to come to the headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance. Shall we go to the trading hall and take a look?" Taurus Longjiao asked. Lu Yiping nodded. In any case, the Su family was in the Su family city, so he wasn't in a hurry to go to the Su family. Hence, the few of them headed to the trading hall of the Real Gold Alliance. The trading hall was much bigger than the mission hall. Inside the hall, there were all kinds of materials, weapons, elixirs, divine pills, and treasures. The hall was divided into many sections, and in front of each section, there was a huge crowd. Lu Yiping and the others arrived at the back of the trading hall and strolled around. Suddenly, Lu Yiping stopped and looked at a box in front of him. On the side of the box, there was a sign, an item from the Phantom Demon King of the ancient demon clan. Previously, when he was in the Hengyuan Plain, the 2 pieces of Dragon Han jade he obtained from the Prajna divine beggar Zhou Cheng were from the Phantom Demon King's cave dwelling. Later, he found a piece of the Builder Tree in the Phantom Demon King's cave dwelling. It was also the first piece of the Builder Tree he obtained. He was the one who nurtured that piece of Builder Tree into life. An item from the Phantom Demon Brat. Taurus Longjiao was surprised when he saw the box. Lu Yiping called the shop assistant over and asked, "How much is this box?" This box was just put up by the True Gold Alliance. However, we are not selling it for money. We are only exchanging it with items, the shop assistant explained. Lu Yiping asked, "What does the True Gold Alliance want in exchange?" The shop assistant shook his head. "Our young alliance master did not say. He only said that if the other party offers him something that interests him, he can take the box away. Then he said, however, there is an ancient array restriction on this box. Many of our True Gold Alliance's array masters are unable to open it." Lu Yiping's hand flashed, and he took out 2 drops of Star Chaos Water. "Star Chaos Water," the shop assistant exclaimed. Many people in the hall looked over, their eyes burning with desire. "Ask your young alliance master about these 2 drops of Star Chaos Water," Lu Yiping said. The shop assistant hurriedly used a communication talisman to report. Soon, he received a reply. Our young Alliance Master said that the box can be exchanged with Star Chaos Water, but he needs 20 drops. The shop assistant said to Lu Yiping. Hey Xia and the others frowned. 20 drops of Star Chaos Water for a box that could not be opened? In their eyes, the True Gold Alliance was asking for too much. Sure. Lu Yiping's expression was calm. Another 18 drops of Star Chaos Water appeared in his hand and he handed it over to the shop assistant. However, just as Lu Yiping was about to take the box away, a voice suddenly sounded, "Wait." Lu Yiping and the others looked over and saw a young man walking over with his head held high, followed by a large group of experts. The shop assistant and the True Gold Alliance's experts hurried forward when they saw the young man. Greetings, young Alliance Master. The young man was none other than the True Gold Alliance's young Alliance Master, Jin Yabua. Jin Yabua stopped in front of Lu Yiping and smiled. I am the True Gold Alliance's young Alliance Master, Jin Yabua. How should I address you? Lu Yiping looked at the other side indifferently. You've already accepted the 20 drops of Star Chaos Water. Why? Does the True Gold Alliance want to go back on their words? Jin Yabua laughed. You've misunderstood. Our True Gold Alliance did not mean that. Our shop assistant misheard the number I mentioned. I said 120 drops of Star Chaos Water. The shop assistant was obviously stunned. Taurus Longjiao laughed, staring at Jin Yabua. I say, kid, you really think we're fat lambs waiting to be slaughtered? You said 20 drops, and now it's 120 drops. He paused for a moment before continuing. If we take out 120 drops, won't it become 1,200 drops? One of the True Gold Alliance's experts' face sank, and he said to Taurus Longjiao, be careful with your words. Our True Gold Alliance's transactions have always been fair and just. Both sides are willing, we did not force you to exchange. Lu Yiping's face was calm. What if I have to use these 20 drops of Star Chaos Water to take the box away? Jin Yabua was stunned, and he smiled. For so many years, no one has ever snatched something from our True Gold Alliance's headquarters. I advise you not to do so. At this time, Taurus Longjiao reached out and the box was sucked into his hand. Chapter 236. Jin Yabua and the rest were stunned. The True Gold Alliance expert's face turned cold as he clawed at Taurus Longjiao. You reckless fool, put that thing down. The realm energy surged wildly. This True Gold Alliance expert was a realm lord, and his realm energy had reached more than 30 million units. The Dragon Horn Golden Bull didn't even look at him. The Golden Bull's body glowed with golden light. The real Gold League's master only felt a terrifying force roaring towards him. His expression changed drastically. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. He was sent flying, smashing many things in the hall before he fell to the corner of the hall. There was a loud bang. The transaction hall of the True Gold Alliance was shaken. Jin Yabua and the True Gold Alliance experts were stunned. In the hall, all the experts looked over in shock. You dare to cause trouble in the True Gold Alliance? You're courting death. Beside Jin Yabua, a realm lord at the peak of the late stage suddenly punched at Taurus Longjiao. This realm lord's realm energy had reached more than 90 million units. Even if it was not as good as Chi Aoshi in Heaven Battling City, it was not far off. Taurus Longjiao's golden light continued to surge. This time, it was even more intense. The golden light around his body burst out like the sun. The realm lord at the peak of the late stage of the True Gold Alliance was blasted through the golden stone wall of the transaction hall and rolled to the mission hall at the side. Countless golden shards flew everywhere. The experts who were receiving messages in the mission information hall were frightened by the sudden explosion and hurriedly dodged. When the beautiful woman in charge of the mission hall saw the True Gold Alliance expert rolling into the hall, she was stunned. This True Gold Alliance expert was the deputy hall master of her mission hall. Then, she saw Taurus Longjiao through the hole in the stone wall. At this moment, Taurus Longjiao slapped Jin Yaobua's face hard. Slap! Jin Yaobua was sent flying by the slap. The beautiful woman's eyes widened. At this moment, in the main hall of the Su family residence, the True Gold Alliance leader Jin Liang, the Su family head Su Wen, and the Su family great ancestor Su Yi were sitting together discussing matters. The reason why the Real Gold Alliance set up their headquarters in the Su family's city was mainly because the Jin family and the Su family were old friends, and both families had always supported each other. At this moment, the atmosphere in the main hall was somewhat stifling. Jin Liang said with a solemn expression, "Our Real Gold Union has received news that the Maha clan has been very close to the undead race in the past few years, and the Maha clan's young patriarch wants to marry the undead race's fourth princess." Is it the undead from the Chaos Dimension? Su Yi, the great ancestor of the Su family, said in a deep voice. Jin Liang nodded. It's the Chaos Dimension's undead clan. Everyone's heart sank. If the Maha clan really marries the undead clan, then the Maha clan's power will definitely increase greatly. The Su clan's patriarch, Su Wen, frowned. For us, this is a great disadvantage. The relationship between the Maha clan, the Su family, and the Real Gold Alliance had always been bad. If not for the support of the Su family and the Real Gold Alliance, they would have been swallowed up by the Maha clan long ago. If the Maha clan were to form a marriage alliance with the Undead clan, it would not be good news for the Su family and the Real Gold Alliance. Thinking of the Undead clan, everyone's hearts sank. Even with the Su family's background, when faced with the terrifying monsters of the Undead clan, their scalps went numb. Just as everyone was talking about the Maha clan and the Undead clan, suddenly, an expert from the Real Gold Alliance ran in a panic. Alliance Master, something happened in the trading hall of the headquarters. The young Alliance Master was beaten up. Jin Liang, Su Yi, and the others were stunned. What's going on? Jin Liang's face darkened as he asked. The expert from the Real Gold Alliance stammered, "Someone has taken a fancy to the ancient Phantom Demon King's box in the trading hall." Originally, the young Alliance Master had already agreed to exchange 20 drops of Star Chaos Water for it. However, after the other party took out 20 drops of Star Chaos Water, the young Alliance Master changed his mind and asked for 120 drops. Su Yi and the others were stunned as they looked at Jin Liang. Jin Liang's expression was ugly. The expert from the Real Gold Alliance continued, "I seem to have heard that the second princess of the Maha clan asked the young Alliance Master to help her find 120 drops of Star Chaos Water a few days ago. These days, the young Alliance Master has been helping the second princess of the Maha clan search." When Jin Liang heard this, he was furious. That bastard! The Real Gold Alliance and the Maha clan had always been at odds. However, ever since his son, Jin Yaobua, saw the second princess of the Maha clan during a conference, he was completely infatuated with her. In the past 2 years, he had also warned his son. He didn't expect that this time, for the sake of 120 drops of Star Chaos Water, he would break the rules of the Real Gold Alliance. How is the young Alliance Master now? Jin Liang asked. The other party was very heavy-handed. The young Alliance Master's face was slapped until it was deformed and he kept vomiting blood. Not only the young Alliance Master, but Wu Yi and the other Deputy Hall Masters were also seriously injured by the other party. The other party is very strong. I'm afraid that he is not an ordinary plain master. The expert from the Real Gold Alliance continued, "Oh right, he is the guest who asked about the tree block." "Oh, it's him." Jin Liang, Su Wen, and the others were surprised. A few years ago, Su Wen obtained a strange tree block in the purgatory of Maha. All these years, he couldn't find any results from his research. Su Wen even asked the Real Gold Alliance to help him investigate the origin of this tree block. A few days ago, the Real Gold Alliance's 9-star plane branch sent news that someone had offered a reward of 100 million heaven-grade spirit stones to find this tree block. Jin Liang even mentioned this to Su Wen. "Alliance Master, the young Alliance Master's injuries are very serious. What do you think?" The expert from the Real Gold Alliance asked. Jean Leong said in a deep voice, "I will go back now." Although his son had broken the rules of the Real Gold Alliance, the other party had slapped his son in public at the headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance and injured several deputy hall masters of the Real Gold Alliance. This made him furious. "I will go with you to take a look." The Su family's patriarch, Su Wen, said. He also wanted to see who was looking for the tree block. "Since I have nothing to do, I will go with you." The Su family's great ancestor, Su Yi, suddenly spoke. Jean Leong was stunned, then he was overjoyed. "It would be great if Senior Su Yi could go with us." Thus, Su Yi, Su Wen, and the other experts from the Su family followed Jean Leong to the headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance. The headquarters of the Real Gold Alliance was not far from the Su family's main residence. Soon, everyone arrived at the trading hall of the Real Gold Alliance's headquarters. When they arrived at the trading hall, Jean Leong was furious when he saw his son Jean Yabua's face that was completely unrecognizable from the slap. He looked coldly at Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. "Sir, you are too much," Jean Leong said angrily. "Too much?" Lu Yiping said calmly, "It was your son who broke the rules first, and then it was your people from the Real Gold Alliance who attacked first. We are already being merciful by not killing him." When Jean Leong heard that the other party was being merciful, he could not help but be furious. "All right, then I will experience your skills." As he said this, the power in his body surged, and he suddenly threw a punch at Lu Yiping. As the Alliance Master of the Real Gold Alliance, Jean Leong's cultivation was naturally not weak. He was an expert on the divine ranking, and his ranking was much higher than Fu Zongsheng's. He was 46th on the divine ranking. Chapter 237. However, just as Jean Leong's punch was about to reach Lu Yiping, runes suddenly appeared out of thin air in front of Lu Yiping. These runes instantly condensed into an array, and Jean Leong slammed into it. Bang! The runic array did not move at all, but Jean Leong was forced back and crashed into the people of the Su family. The head of the Su family, Su Wen, was shocked when he saw this. All the power in his body surged, and he pressed forward with his palm, trying to catch Jean Leong. The head of the Su family, Su Wen, was a genius of the Su family. His cultivation was not weaker than Jean Leong's, and he was also in the 40th place on the divine roll. However, just as the head of the Su family, Su Wen, pressed his palm on Jean Leong's back, an unimaginable force pushed him back. Everyone was shocked when they saw this. The great ancestor of the Su family, Su Yi, was ranked 5th on the divine roll. His eyes shone brightly as he stood there. His robes fluttered without wind, and the power of the ancient god surged out from his body, causing the space to howl. Su Yi had stepped into the ancient god realm for many years. He was far from what the Lord of 9 Stars, who had just stepped into the ancient god realm, could compare to. The laws of the divine realm shot out from his body like wild dragons, shaking heaven and earth. Su Jiacheng was also shocked by the power of the ancient god. All the experts in the city were shocked. The power of the ancient god. Which ancient god came to Su Jiacheng? Could it be the great ancestor of the Su family, Su Yi? Who angered Lord Su Yi? Under the power of Su Ye's ancient god, everyone in Su Jiacheng felt as if their chests were being pressed down by thousands of mountains. While everyone in Su Jiacheng was shocked, Su Yi suddenly pressed his palms on the backs of Jean Leong and Su Wen, trying to catch them. However, just as Su Ye's palms were about to touch their backs, Su Yi felt his arms shake violently, and a vast power came crashing towards him. This power far exceeded his strength. The power of the ancient god that he had always been confident in was instantly destroyed. The laws of the divine realm on his body instantly shattered and broke apart like brittle pieces. Su Yi was also forced to retreat continuously. The great ancestor of the Su family, Su Yi, ranked 5th on the divine roll, could not catch Jean Leong and Su Wen. In the end, Su Yi, Jean Leong, and Su Wen, 3 experts on the divine roll, crashed into the golden stone wall of the trading hall at the same time. The golden stone wall flew backward and shattered into pieces. In the end, the three of them fell to the ground outside the trading hall. The golden bricks on the ground all collapsed. The experts of the Real Gold League and the Su family were stunned. The experts who came to the Real Gold Alliance to trade looked at Su Yi, Jin Liang, and Su Wen, who had fallen on the ground outside the trading hall. They were all dumbfounded. Jin Yaobua, whose face had been completely deformed by the slap, looked at the blue-robed figure and his entire body trembled. He seems to be Lord Lu Yiping, ranked 10th on the god list. In the distance, an expert said with uncertainty. 10th on the divine list. Lu Yiping. The scene was in an uproar. Su Yi, Su Wen, and Jin Liang were shocked. This young man was Lu Yiping, who had killed Fu Zongsheng and the Lord of 9 Stars in a row. Su Yi, who was ranked 5th on the divine list, had a look of disbelief on his face. At this moment, a dignified voice suddenly came from the Su family's ancestral land. Su Yi, invite this young friend into our Su family's ancestral land. I have something to discuss with him. When Su Yi heard this voice, he ignored his injuries and quickly stood up. He bowed and said, "Yes, old ancestor." Everyone was shocked. It had always been rumored that there was an existence stronger than Su Yi in the Su family. However, it was just a rumor. No one knew whether it was true or not. Now that they saw Su Ye's respectful attitude, everyone was shocked and doubtful. They wondered if it was that legendary existence. Su Yi came in front of Lu Yiping, cupped his fists, and bowed. He said, "I didn't know Lord Lu's identity earlier and offended you. Lord Lu, our old ancestor would like to invite you in. May I know if Lord Lu would like to meet you?" Lu Yiping glanced at the Su family's ancestral land and said, "All right, I will go with you to the Su family's ancestral land." Su Yi was overjoyed and said respectfully, "Lord Lu, please." The two of them flew into the air and left. Everyone looked at each other. After arriving at the Su family's ancestral land, Su Yi stopped in front of a palace in the depths of the Su family's ancestral land. Lu Yiping went in alone. The palace was very spacious. It was 1,000 feet tall. The stone pillars were made of a dark ore. A mind-gathering array was carved on each stone pillar. Cultivating in this place would allow one to have strong vitality and abundant qi and blood. Just as Lu Yiping walked into the center of the palace, a figure suddenly flashed. A white-haired old man appeared in front of Lu Yiping. The old man was extremely skinny, but his eyes were as deep as the stars. "Young friend, you are strong." The old man smiled gently. "May I know which sect you are from? This little old man might know the elders of your sect." Lu Yiping did not speak. He threw a token over to the old man. The old man took the token and was shocked when he saw it. His calm and confident smile was no longer there. The 10,000 deities token. He looked at Lu Yiping in shock. "How do you have our ancestors' 10,000 deities token?" At this moment, Lu Yiping's fingers bent at an unbelievable angle and made a strange gesture. The gesture did not look special, but it exuded an aura of supremacy. Seeing this gesture, the old man's eyes widened. He thought of an ancient legend and record. He looked at Lu Yiping in disbelief, as if he had seen a ghost. In ancient times, Lu Yiping did not have a token. This gesture represented his identity. After so many years, others might not recognize this gesture, but the direct descendants of Su Cheng, the master of 10,000 deities, should recognize it. "You are?" The old man still could not believe that the young man in front of him was that existence. Lu Yiping's expression was calm. Behind him, totems flew out one after another. These totems included the heaven-splitting devil god, the ancestral dragon, the phoenix, and the qilin. Each totem had 100 million laws of the divine realm. There were a total of 49 totems. The 49 totems emitted a dazzling light that filled every corner of the hall. Under this pressure, the old man was forced to the ground. His face was full of disbelief. For experts above the ancient god realm, When they comprehended 10 million laws of the divine realm, they could condense a totem. When they comprehended 20 million laws, they could condense a second totem. Generally speaking, 10 totems was the limit. Only a few monstrous geniuses who obtained great opportunities could break through this limit and condense 11 totems. In the past, the master of 10,000 deities condensed 13 totems. But the Liu Yiping in front of him had a total of 49 totems. Moreover, each of Liu Yiping's totems had 100 million laws of the divine realm. Su Rong greets Lord. The old man knelt down in excitement. According to the historical records, the revered one of the ancient era broke through all the shackles of the world and condensed 49 totems. This shocked the myriad of worlds, becoming the only miracle in the myriad of worlds. Su Wen stood outside the hall, unaware of the situation inside. After waiting for a long time, he still did not hear Liu Yiping and Su Rong's voices. He could not help but feel puzzled. At this time, the hall's doors opened. Chapter 238. When the door of the hall opened, Su Rong, who was originally kneeling in front of Liu Yiping, had already stood up. Su Yi saw that Su Rong was standing respectfully in front of Liu Yiping with his head lowered, as if he was listening to Liu Yiping's lecture. He could not help but be surprised. He knew the identity of the oldest ancestor of the Su family. With the status of their ancestor, he was actually standing respectfully in front of Liu Yiping and listening to Liu Yiping's lecture. What was the background of Liu Yiping? In the main hall of the Real Gold Alliance, Jin Liang and the others were waiting when they saw Su Yi return. However, Liu Yiping was nowhere to be seen. Senior Su Yi. Jin Liang went up to him. Su Yi shook his head at Jin Liang, then said to Su Wen, "Su Wen, follow me into the ancestral land now. Lord Liu has something to ask you." Su Wen and the rest of the Su family were stunned. Then, Su Yi came in front of Taurus Longjiao. "Lord Xiaojin, Lord Liu wants you to follow me into the Su family's ancestral land." Everyone was surprised to hear Su Yi address Taurus Longjiao as Lord. Then, Su Wen, Taurus Longjiao, He Xia, and the others followed Su Yi into the Su family's ancestral land. Before leaving, Su Yi told the Real Gold Alliance and the Su family to do what they were supposed to do. Jin Liang and the others were stunned when they saw Su Yi, Taurus Longjiao, and the others enter the Su family's ancestral land. It was late at night. Liu Yiping stood in the palace of the Su family's ancestral land. In front of him was a 2-meter-tall tree block. He had obtained this building tree block from the Su family's head, Su Wen. Liu Yiping summoned the building tree. After fusing with more than 70 building tree blocks from the 7 Spirit Fox clan's ancestral land of the Purple Extreme Demons, his building tree had grown to more than 190 meters tall. It was only a few meters away from breaking through to 200 meters. The Jianshu was more than 190 meters tall, and the circumference of the tree had reached more than 30 meters. The 30-meter-long tree trunk was simply a colossus. Liu Yiping standing in front of Jianshu now looked like a tiny dot. Liu Yiping controlled the Jianshu and began to fuse with the 2-meter-tall tree block. As the tree continued to grow, the speed of fusion greatly increased. In the past, when the tree was only a few meters tall, it would take a day and a half to fuse a small piece of tree. Now, it only took a dozen breaths to completely fuse this 2-meter-tall tree piece. After fusing with this 2-meter-tall tree block, the Jianshu grew taller again, and the tree trunk also became a little bigger. However, it was a pity that he was still unable to break through 200 meters. Currently, Jianshu was at 197 meters. After fusing with the tree piece, the chaotic energy around the tree of creation churned. At the same time, a few more leaves grew out from the tree and the patterns on the leaves became even clearer. The heaven-opening cultivation method in the tree of creation was gradually becoming complete. About 100 meters more, Liu Yiping muttered to himself as he looked at the Jianshu that had already grown into a towering tree. When the tree of creation was 300 meters tall and the cultivation method was complete, he could comprehend and cultivate it. Liu Yiping felt that the tree of creation's cultivation method was a cultivation method for cultivating the physical body. After comprehending this cultivation method and cultivating it, his physical body would be as strong as the tree of creation's body in the future. At that time, his physical body would be strong enough to destroy eternity. In this world, only the heaven-opening divine axe and the earth-splitting chisel, which were primal chaos treasures, could hurt him. Lu Yiping sat cross-legged under the tree of creation and began to comprehend the great Daos in the second and third good fortune jade discs. As the tree of creation grew, the speed at which he comprehended the second and third good fortune jade discs increased by a lot. It took him a long time to comprehend the first good fortune jade disc, but with the tree of creation, he could completely comprehend the 200 great Daos in the second and third good fortune jade discs in at most a few 100,000 years. Lu Yiping, who was sitting cross-legged under the tree of creation, was enveloped by the tree of creation's chaotic aura. The tree of creation flickered with light. From afar, Lu Yiping looked like a chaotic demon god. Lu Yiping's aura was as vast as the Milky Way. The Milky Way was boundless and had no end. Lu Yiping's aura was just like the Milky Way. There was no end to it. Just as Lu Yiping was sitting cross-legged under the tree of creation and comprehending the great Daos of the second and third good fortune jade discs, in another palace in the ancestral land, Su Yi, Su Wen, and the elders of the Su family were all kneeling in front of Su Rong. Remember, in the future, when you see Master Lu, you have to be more respectful than when you see me. Su Rong's expression was serious. In the future, Master Lu's words are my words. No matter what Master Lu says, you have to obey. Su Yi, Su Wen, and the elders of the Su family were stunned. Elder, what is the background of this Lu Yiping? Su Yi asked carefully. Su Rong stared at Su Yi sternly, causing Su Yi to feel anxious. Don't ask too much about Master Lu's identity, Su Rong said. Moreover, none of you can talk about Master Lu in front of outsiders. If I find out that anyone dares to talk about Master Lu in front of others, they will be expelled from the Su family. Su Rong's tone was unprecedentedly stern. The experts of the Su family trembled in fear. However, after staying in the Su family for a few days, Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others left the Su family and headed to the purgatory of Maha. According to the head of the Su family, Su Wen, he had obtained this piece of tree from the sea of magma in the purgatory of Maha. There were several pieces of this kind of tree in the sea of magma, and they were bigger than the one he had obtained. However, they were floating in the center of the sea of magma. The divine fire in the center of the sea of magma was too terrifying, and he could not obtain it at all. The Maha clan's territory was vast, and they were located in the north of the void plain. The purgatory of Maha was located in the east of the Maha clan's territory. Normally, the disciples of the Maha clan would enter the purgatory of Maha to hunt beasts or cultivate. The purgatory of Maha was filled with a type of dark spiritual energy, which was very beneficial to the cultivation of the Maha clan's disciples. Because the purgatory of Maha had large amounts of spirit herbs and refined iron ores, experts from the void plane would occasionally enter the purgatory of Maha to search for spirit herbs and other materials. Somewhere in the sky above the purgatory of Maha, a light flashed, and Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walked out of the void. As for He Xia and the other three, they had entered the everlasting star palace to cultivate with the masters of the 100,000 planes. Lu Yiping looked around, then flew forward with Taurus Longjiao. The purgatory of Maha was as large as the Xinwu continent, and the sea of magma was in the east. Along the way, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao encountered vicious beasts of the purgatory of Maha, and they burned them to ashes with their divine flames, leaving no trace behind. Not long after, a sea of magma formed completely from magma appeared before their eyes. The two of them broke through the waves of fire and arrived above the sea of magma. Due to the extremely high temperature of the sea of magma, the entire space in the sea was distorted. Even ordinary planar masters wouldn't dare to casually enter the sea of magma. However, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao walked forward as if they were walking on flat ground. At the same time, Lu Yiping sensed the changes in the creation tree. Now, the creation tree's sensing range had expanded to nearly 10 kilometers. As long as he passed by a place with a creation tree, he would be able to sense it immediately. Chapter 239. At the same time, Lu Yiping activated the Eye of Lightning Punishment and carefully searched the bottom of the lava sea. The temperature of the lava sea is almost the same as the temperature outside the fire world, said Taurus Longjiao. In the past, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao had gone deep into the fire world. The terror of the fire world had left a deep impression on Taurus Longjiao. Lu Yiping nodded. He looked at the various divine flames in the lava sea and said, "There are thousands of divine flames here. It's a good place to cultivate fire elemental techniques." "Master, when will we go to the Thunder World again?" asked Taurus Longjiao. He had the bloodline of the lightning ancestor. Entering the Thunder World was like a fish entering water. "Let's talk about it later." Lu Yiping shook his head. When he came out this time, he felt that there were some changes in the world. This change made him feel a sense of danger. This was a feeling one would have when one's cultivation reached a certain level. This sense of danger did not come from the Inyang Borer tribe, but from the entire world. Therefore, he had to find the other fragments of the creation jade disc as soon as possible and let the creation tree grow as soon as possible. And Buzhou Mountain. Yes. Suddenly, Lu Yiping stopped and pulled at the lava sea in the distance. The surface of the lava sea broke open and a piece of tree flew out from the bottom of the sea. This piece of tree was more than 7 meters tall. It was the creation tree. Lu Yiping was delighted. He did not expect that the first piece of creation tree in the purgatory of Mahanata would be more than 7 meters tall. With this piece of creation tree, his creation tree should be able to break through 200 meters. Lu Yiping threw the piece of creation tree into the space of the creation tree in the cauldron of heaven and earth. The creation tree produced a suction force that pulled the piece of creation tree to its side. Then, it swallowed and merged with the piece. As it merged, the creation tree shone brightly and began to grow taller. 199 meters. Finally, it broke through 200 meters. When the tree of creation reached 200 meters tall, the entire tree of creation shone brightly. Chaotic chi gushed out, and faint patterns appeared on the bark of the tree of creation. Lu Yiping took a closer look. The runes on the tree were actually runes of the Great Tao. They contained a supreme Great Tao. These Great Tao runes resonated with the runes on the builder tree's leaves. Lu Yiping looked at these Great Tao patterns and felt as though he had gained enlightenment of the Great Tao. After fusing with this piece of tree, Lu Yiping and Lu Zilong continued flying forward. Lu Yiping didn't fly too fast in case he missed something. A few minutes later, he found another piece. However, this time, it was not big, only half a meter in size. Lu Yiping also put it into the tree creation space in the heaven and earth cauldron and let the tree creation space fuse on its own. After that, he found a few more pieces. They were not big, and the largest was only 1 meter tall. However, just as Lu Yiping was about to reach the center, the Buzhou mountain in his body suddenly shook. Lu Yiping was dumbfounded. Could there be a Buzhou mountain stone in the sea of lava? Lu Yiping took a step forward and arrived at the location of the Buzhou mountain stone. A suction force came from his hand, and the sea of lava rumbled as a huge object slowly flew up from the bottom of the lava sea. When this huge object flew out from the bottom of the sea, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were pleasantly surprised. In front of them was a Buzhou mountain stone. However, this Buzhou mountain stone was a little big, more than 20 meters tall. This was a pleasant surprise. In the past few days, Lu Yiping had only found tree of creation pieces and had not found any Buzhou mountain stone. But now, he found a big one. Lu Yiping put this Buzhou mountain stone into the heaven and earth cauldron space, allowing the Buzhou mountain stone to fuse with it. The two of them continued to search for tree of creation pieces and Buzhou mountain stone. Since there was a Buzhou mountain stone in this sea of lava, then there should be more than one. As the two of them headed toward the center of the sea of lava, suddenly, energy fluctuations came from the front. Lu Yiping was puzzled. Looking over with his eye of lightning punishment, he saw 4 black-robed men standing in the air above the center of the sea. These 4 black-robed men were exuding surging devil chi. They were none other than the Purple Extreme Devil Tribe's experts. The 4 Purple Extreme Devil Tribe's experts were holding a giant net, each guarding a different direction. They were trying their best to pull up a giant tree block. That giant tree block floating above the sea of lava was the Tree of Creation Peace. Taurus Longjiao's eyes flickered. Through the layers of space, he also saw the 4 Purple Extreme Devil Tribe's experts trying their best to pull up the Tree of Creation Peace. Seeing that it was the Purple Extreme Devil Tribe's experts, Taurus Longjiao grinned mischievously. Lu Yiping's eyes were also indifferent as he flew over with Taurus Longjiao. Lu Yiping did not conceal his aura, therefore, the 4 Purple Extreme Devil Tribe's experts soon discovered Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao. The 4 of them were surprised. Lu Yiping. One of them recognized Lu Yiping. The 4 of them exchanged a glance, then stopped. Lu Yiping, so it's you. I was just about to look for you. Were you the one who destroyed our 7 Spirits Fox Tribe's branch in the 9 Stars Plains ancestral land? The leader of the 4 looked coldly at Lu Yiping. His aura spread out, and the devil chi around him roiled like the sea. Even the Su family's patriarch, Su Wen, ranked in the top 40 on the god list, was unable to enter the center of the sea of lava. Now, these 4 people could enter unscathed, proving their strength. That's right, Lu Yiping said indifferently, all the Dark Borer race's slaves must die. You're courting death. The leader of the 4 suddenly soared into the air, punching at Lu Yiping. When his fist punched out, ancient god realm energy surged out, and devil chi rolled out, plowing a huge gully several li wide and several hundred meters deep on the sea of lava. Purple lightning demonic dragon fist. Purple lightning crackled violently inside his fist, and the faint outline of a ferocious demonic dragon could be seen. Looking at the other party's purple lightning demonic dragon fist, Lu Yiping raised his hand and casually waved it out. A large palm print tore through the air, instantly shattering the other party's purple lightning demonic dragon fist. Then, the palm print landed on the other party's chest, shattering the divine armor on his body. The other party was sent flying, crashing into the sea of lava. Bang! The sea of lava exploded. Lava shot out, and divine flames splashed in all directions. When the other party crashed into the sea of lava, his body exploded, turning into a rain of blood. The other 3 were dumbfounded. Although their leader was not on the god list, his strength was comparable to the 4th ranker on the god list. Now, he was blasted to death by Lu Yiping's palm. Lu Yiping's expression was indifferent. This Purple Extreme Demon Race expert's divine world law was merely several million, and he hadn't even condensed his first totem. At this time, Taurus Longjiao's palm sent the remaining 3 flying. 2 of them exploded, and the last one was barely breathing. Where is your Purple Extreme Demon Race's branch in the Void World? Lu Yiping asked after controlling the other party's consciousness. In the Black Snow Mountain Range. The other party answered, then told Huang Xiaolong the exact location of the Black Snow Mountain Range. Does your branch have this kind of tree block? Lu Yiping asked again. Yes, over the years, we've found more than 90 pieces. The other party answered, we're planning to offer them up. Chapter 240. More than 90 pieces. Suppressing the joy in his heart, Lu Yiping asked a few more questions. After he was done, Taurus Longjiao tossed him to the Kunpeng for it to swallow. Recently, the Kunpeng had been following the 2 of them and swallowing many good things. Its skin had grown even brighter, and its aura had also grown stronger. Lu Yiping arrived at the creation tree that the 4 Purple Extreme Demons wanted to collect. Even if the 4 Purple Extreme Demons pulled with all their might, they still couldn't pull it out. It was obvious how big it was. Lu Yiping hooked his finger, and the creation tree slowly flew out from the bottom of the magma sea. When it was completely out of the magma sea, it was actually 13 meters tall. Taurus Longjiao looked at the creation tree in front of him and said happily, this is the biggest one, right? Ever since they had obtained the creation tree, they hadn't found such a big one. Lu Yiping put the creation tree into the space and let it fuse with the creation tree. A moment later, the creation tree had already fused with the 13-meter-tall creation tree. Because the tree trunk grew bigger the further it fused with the 13-meter-tall creation tree, it was only 4 to 5 meters tall. Even though it was only 4 to 5 meters tall, the number of Dao patterns on the creation tree had increased, and the original Dao patterns were much clearer. Half a day later, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao searched every corner of the magma sea. After fusing with several more creation tree pieces, the creation tree had grown to more than 220 meters tall. After confirming that there were no more creation tree pieces in the magma sea, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left the magma sea. However, Lu Yiping didn't leave the purgatory of Mahanata immediately. Instead, he walked around the purgatory of Mahanata to see if there were any other creation tree pieces. Lu Yiping really did find one. After walking around the purgatory of Mahanata, Lu Yiping and Yang Qi left. However, just as Lu Yiping and Yang Qi were about to leave, a large group of experts from the Mahanata clan walked in. That useless Ji Nyabwa from the Real Gold Alliance couldn't even find 120 drops of stellar chaos water for me. I asked you to help me find Lu Yiping's whereabouts. How's the investigation going? A Maha clan expert hurriedly said, Second Princess, we have already mobilized all our forces to search for Lu Yiping's whereabouts. After Lu Yiping left the Su family city, his whereabouts are unknown. However, we're not the only ones looking for Lu Yiping. The sea race of the scattered star ocean is also looking for Lu Yiping. I also heard that the old demon of time's successor, Lord Miaozhe, is also looking for Lu Yiping. Miaozhe was ranked second on the divine list. Oh, Miaozhe is also looking for Lu Yiping. Maha Second Princess Mo Man was surprised. Yes, during the Four Seas Sacred Assembly's Sea Race Grand Competition, Lu Yiping used the Divine Fist of Time to instantly destroy Sea God Temple's Hull Master Huati's vitality. This is the Divine Fist of Time's ultimate profundity. The Maha clan expert said, Lord Miaozhe is probably looking for Lu Yiping to ask for the secret of the Divine Fist of Time's ultimate profundity. I heard that the old demon of time did not pass the Divine Fist of Time's ultimate profundity to him. Maha Second Princess Mo Man said, I heard that the sea god is still alive. Watching the Maha clan experts leave, Taurus Longjiao said, that Brating Jie's disciple actually wants to ask for the Divine Fist of Time's ultimate profundity from Master. He really doesn't know the meaning of death. The old demon of time's real name was Ting Jie. The sea race is also looking for Master. It seems like they want revenge. Taurus Longjiao said coldly. Let's go to the Black Snow mountain range first. Lu Yiping said. The two of them tore through the air and disappeared into the horizon in the blink of an eye. The Black Snow mountain range was located in the extreme north of the Void Plain. Black snow fluttered all year round. Due to the cold weather, there were few signs of human habitation. By the time Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao arrived at the Black Snow mountain range, the sky had already darkened. At night, the snow in the Black Snow mountain range was even thicker. Looking from afar, the mountain range was a vast expanse of darkness. In this Black Snow mountain range, there were very few trees and flowers. Because the weather was too bad, almost no plants could survive. Lu Yiping identified the direction, and the two of them flew forward. The Black Snow mountain range was very large and barren. Not even a ferocious beast could be seen. If it were me, I wouldn't be able to stay in this damned place for even a day. Taurus Longjiao shook his head. He liked sunny noons and places with sunlight. He hated this kind of dark, cold, and barren place the most. Lu Yiping came to a stop in front of a tall mountain peak. Then, he abruptly punched out. With a loud bang, the mountain peak was sent flying by Lu Yiping's punch. At the bottom of the mountain peak, figures soared into the sky. For a moment, demonic aura filled the air. These figures had astonishing auras. Each of them was an ancient god realm expert. There were more than 20 ancient gods. Seeing the purple extreme demon clan experts rushing out, Taurus Longjiao, who had long been prepared, waved little tiny fish in his hand. In an instant, the purple extreme demon clan experts were sent flying one after another. 1. 2. Taurus Longjiao kept counting. The 26 ancient gods were all blasted away, and they shot into the mountain range far away. They exploded, and some of them even exploded in midair. Lu Yiping landed and saw a large hole in the ground at the bottom of the flattened mountain peak. The two of them entered it in a flash. After passing through a space tunnel, their eyes lit up. In front of them was a large plain. On the plain, there were piles of all kinds of materials. Some were used to refine weapons, some were used to refine divine pills, and some were used to refine flying ships. On the edge of the plain were dozens of palaces. These were obviously the residences of the Purple Extreme Demon Clan. These brats have collected a lot of things. Taurus Longjiao grinned. In the end, Lu Yiping found a piece of the building tree inside one of the palaces. As the Purple Extreme Demon Clan expert had said, there were more than 90 pieces. Moreover, each piece was not small. The smallest was 1 to 2 meters, while the tallest was 7 to 8 meters. Lu Yiping looked at the pile of building tree pieces. He went to the largest piece and began to merge with it. Now, his building tree had grown to more than 220 meters. After merging with the pieces in the main hall, it should be able to break through to 300 meters. After 300 meters, the building tree's cultivation method should be complete. As the building tree continued to merge with the pieces, it grew at a speed visible to the naked eye. 230 meters, 240, 250 meters, finally, it grew to more than 290 meters. When the building tree merged with the last piece and its trunk broke through to 300 meters, it suddenly erupted with a strange light. Chaotic aura rolled like a waterfall. The leaves flickered with light, and the patterns on the leaves seemed to come alive. From afar, these patterns seemed to form characters on the tree branch. The cultivation method was finally complete. Lu Yiping stared at these characters and studied them carefully. Chapter 241. Taurus Longjiao also studied the runes carefully. During his time in the sacred forest, he had studied these heaven-splitting talismans while following by Lu Yiping's side. However, even though he recognized these talismans, he was still unable to comprehend their profundities. After Lu Yiping memorized all the runes, he closed his eyes, sat cross-legged under the tree of creation, and began to comprehend them. Before long, Lu Yiping's body radiated a mysterious aura. This aura was similar to the Live Forever incantation that Lu Yiping cultivated. It was brimming with life force, vitality, eternity, and boundless power. This power seemed to come from all worlds, from the primordial world before the world was formed. As this aura spread out, Lu Yiping's body alternated with light, and his Saint Chi rolled like the sea. Taurus Longjiao felt the change in Lu Yiping's body and was shocked. He retreated to the side and guarded Lu Yiping. At the same time, he still widened his eyes and stared at the heaven-splitting runes formed by the veins of the Tree of Creation's leaves, trying to comprehend the technique within. However, no matter how hard he stared, no matter how hard he tried, he still couldn't comprehend the power contained in the heaven-splitting runes. In the end, Taurus Longjiao sighed and had to give up. He took a divine pill and threw it into his mouth. He bit it and found it tasteless. He took out the divine beast Kunpeng and began to practice his hand strength. Lu Yiping cultivated for a month. A month passed. The rolling Saint Chi on Lu Yiping's body began to evolve. Sometimes the sun was born, sometimes the moon shrouded the earth, sometimes spiritual beasts were born, and then grew into primeval beasts. Sometimes everything grew, and sometimes heaven and earth were destroyed, turning into chaos. All the power of heaven and earth appeared on Lu Yiping's body. While Lu Yiping was meditating on Jiang Shu's heaven-splitting technique, the silver-haired Miao Zhe frowned and looked at his guild master. Is there still no news about Lu Yiping? The Chamber of Commerce's president was Miao Zhe's in-name disciple. Hearing this, he quickly replied, reporting to Master, "We've already used all our resources to search, but there's still no news." At this point, he hesitated for a moment before continuing, "I heard that Lu Yiping has a subordinate called Chiyu, who is the sect master of the Zephyr sect, Yudawe's martial uncle. Perhaps Yudawe of the Zephyr sect knows where Lu Yiping is?" Miao Zhe stood up with his hands behind his back. Zephyr Wind Sect. "Master, how about I make a trip to the Zephyr Wind Sect?" the Chamber of Commerce's president asked. "There's no need. I'll make a trip there myself." After Miao Zhe finished speaking, he tore through the air and disappeared into the horizon in the blink of an eye. One day later, Miao Zhe's figure appeared in the air above a mountain range. Looking at the Zephyr Wind Sect in front of him, he directly tore through the air and headed towards the Zephyr Wind Sect's main hall. At this time, inside the Zephyr Wind Sect's main hall, the Zephyr Wind Sect Sect Master, Yudawe, was sitting together with a group of Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestors, discussing the incident that happened in the Su family city a few days ago. A few days ago, Lu Yiping sent Su Yi, Su Wen, and Jin Liang flying in the Real Gold Alliance's headquarters, the three divine ranking experts. This matter had slowly spread, and the void plane was shaken. I heard that Lord Lu Yiping didn't even move his hand at that time. Just a surge of energy was enough to send Su Yi and the other two flying out of the Real Gold Alliance's headquarters. The Zephyr Wind Sect Master, Yudawe, sighed. I wonder what realm Lord Lu Yiping's strength has reached. Some people speculate that Lord Lu has already condensed a totem. The Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestor, Yang Tong, said. Yang Tong was Chiyu's junior brother, and also Yudawe's master. At this moment, a sudden scream rang out. Everyone was stunned. When they looked over, they saw several Zephyr Wind Sect's grand elders being sent flying from the outside. A large palm print was imprinted on the Zephyr Wind Sect's grand elders' chests. The palm print had almost pierced through their chests. A silver-haired old man walked in from the outside with his hands behind his back. Everyone stood up in shock. The Zephyr Wind Sect's sect master, Yudawe, looked at the other party in shock and anger. Who are you? Why did you barge into my Zephyr Wind Sect and injure our grand elders? The silver-haired old man glanced at Yudawe and the others, then said indifferently, This old man is Miao Zhe. Miao Zhe. Second on the divine ranking. Hearing this, everyone turned pale with fright. After a while, Yang Tong came to his senses. He cupped his fists and said respectfully, So it's Lord Miao Zhe. May I know why Lord Miao Zhe has come to my Zephyr Wind Sect? Miao Zhe looked at Yang Tong and said, You're Yang Tong. That Chiyu is your senior brother, right? Hearing Miao Zhe ask about Chiyu, Yang Tong answered honestly, Chiyu is my senior brother. Miao Zhe continued, I heard that Chiyu is Lu Yiping's slave, then do you know Lu Yiping's whereabouts? Yang Tong, Yudawe, and the others were stunned. They didn't expect Miao Zhe to be here for Lu Yiping. Lord Miao Zhe, may I know why you're looking for Lord Lu Yiping? Yang Tong asked cautiously. That, you don't need to know. You only need to tell me Lu Yiping's whereabouts. Miao Zhe said coldly. Our Zephyr Wind Sect doesn't know Lord Lu's whereabouts. Yang Tong answered cautiously. However, just as Yang Tong finished speaking, Miao Zhe's fist punched out. Ancient God Realm energy roared and Yang Tong was sent flying, crashing into a corner of the hall, vomiting blood. The vitality in Yang Tong's body started to fade, his flesh and skin started to wither. Master! Yudawe was alarmed. In a flicker, he appeared in front of Yang Tong, helping him up and feeding him a medicinal pellet. Miao Zhe's cold voice sounded, I'll give you all one day. If Lu Yiping doesn't appear, all of you in the hall will die tomorrow. The Zephyr Wind Sect's experts were shocked and enraged. One of the Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestors spoke, When we parted ways with Lord Lu Yiping in the Sea God City, Lord Lu Yiping said that he would come to our Zephyr Wind Sect in a few days. Miao Zhe snorted, In that case, I'll wait here for 10 days. If Lu Yiping doesn't appear after 10 days, all of you will die. Several days later. Inside the Black Snow Mountain Range's isolated space, Lu Yiping, who was sitting cross-legged under a tree, opened his eyes. The flickering lights around him slowly dissipated. Taurus Longjiao was overjoyed when he saw Lu Yiping had stopped cultivating. He walked up to Lu Yiping and asked, "Master, how was it?" Lu Yiping smiled, "Not bad." He had comprehended the cultivation technique contained in the Tree of Creation. Immortal skyward art. Lu Yiping muttered inwardly. This cultivation technique was the one contained in the Tree of Creation. After cultivating it to perfection, his physical body would be as immortal as the Tree of Creation, and his defense would be impenetrable. Moreover, after cultivating it to perfection, he would be able to control the Tree of Myriad Worlds, all the flowers, grasses, and plants in the myriad worlds. However, although he had comprehended this cultivation technique, it was only the first stage. As the Tree of Creation continued to grow and flourish, the cultivation technique after the Tree of Creation would appear. Lu Yiping put away the Tree of Creation and left the hall with Taurus Longjiao. Chapter 242. After exiting the palace, Lu Yiping looked at the piles of materials on the plain and collected them. However, before leaving, Lu Yiping laid out a grand formation here. The Purple Extreme Demon clan originally wanted to hand over the foundation tree to Huang Xiaolong. After a few days, the Purple Extreme Demon clan's experts would definitely send someone to investigate if they could not contact Huang Xiaolong. With this grand formation, as long as the Purple Extreme Demon clan's experts appeared, Huang Xiaolong would know. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao sped away. Now that the matter was settled, Huang Xiaolong planned to stay at the Zephyr Wind sect for a few days. After all, he had an agreement with the Zephyr Wind sect. However, just as Lu Yiping released Black Demon, Red Moon, and the others, Red Moon stammered to Lu Yiping, "Lord, there is something I want to report to Lord." Seeing Red Moon's hesitation, Lu Yiping felt strange and asked, "What is it?" Red Moon hesitated for a moment, then said, "A few days ago, Miao Zhe was looking for Lord's whereabouts. Miao Zhe couldn't find Lord, so he went to my Zephyr Wind sect. Miao Zhe seriously injured my junior brother and threatened to kill Yu Dawei and all of my Zephyr Wind sect's ancestors if Lord doesn't appear in 10 days. Lu Yiping's face sank. "When did this happen?" "It's been 7 days. Red Moon lowered his head. "I saw Lord cultivating and didn't dare to disturb Lord." Taurus Longjiao snorted, "This Miao Zhe is really courting death. He actually dares to threaten Lord with other people's deaths. That year, that brat Ting Jia didn't pass on the Divine Time Fist's ultimate secret to him. It seems like there's a reason." Lu Yiping's eyes were cold as he and Taurus Longjiao sped away with Red Moon and the others, rushing towards the Zephyr Wind sect at top speed. The Black Snow Mountain Range was located in the far north of the Void Plain, far from the Zephyr Wind sect. Many ancient gods who had condensed totems couldn't reach the Zephyr Wind sect in 3 days. But Lu Yiping brought Black Demon, and the others. With a single step, they crossed 10,000 li. The speed was so fast that He Xia and the others felt as if the sky and earth were spinning. However, although it was fast, He Xia and the others could not hear the sound of the storm. Generally speaking, when the speed was extremely fast, there would be the sound of a storm. However, these people could not hear or feel it at all. After a while, Chiyu's eyes widened when he saw a city below. Soaring Rainbow City. Wasn't this the Soaring Rainbow City near their Zephyr Wind sect? Not far from Soaring Rainbow City was their Zephyr sect's mountain gate. Just a moment ago, they were still in the Black Snow Mountain Range, and now they were almost at the Zephyr sect. At this time, inside the Zephyr Wind sect's main hall, Miao Zhe was sitting on the Zephyr Wind sect patriarch's throne. An ancestor of the Zephyr sect carefully served him a cup of spirit tea. Miao Zhe took a sip and suddenly spat it out, spraying all over the face of the Strong Wind sect's ancestor. The Strong Wind sect's ancestor's face was covered with Miao Zhe's saliva. Miao Zhe scolded, "How dare you give me such inferior spirit tea? Does your Zephyr Wind sect want to die?" Saying this, Miao Zhe sent the Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestor flying with a punch. A large hole was punched in the Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestor's chest, causing him to vomit blood continuously. Inside the main hall, Yu Dawei and the Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestors glared at Miao Zhe. This Miao Zhe was the old Devil Time's disciple. In the Void World, it was rumored that the Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestors had a temperamental temperament. In the past few days, whenever Miao Zhe was dissatisfied, he would beat up the Zephyr Wind Sect's experts, either injuring or crippling them. Indifferent, Miao Zhe looked at Yu Dawei and the others. Go take out the best spirit tea in your treasury for me. Then, he added, no need, I'll go look for it myself. Bring me to the treasury. Yu Dawei and the others' faces tightened. Go to the treasury? Without a doubt, Miao Zhe was eyeing the Zephyr Wind Sect's treasury again. One of the Zephyr Wind Sect's ancestors said, I'll go look for it for Lord Miao Zhe. However, Miao Zhe punched out, sending the ancestor who spoke flying. Miao Zhe looked at Yu Dawei coldly, didn't you hear what I said? Yu Dawei was furious, Miao Zhe, although you're second on the divine list, Lord Lu's strength is not weaker than yours. Miao Zhe smiled, he just defeated Su Yi. He can challenge me after he defeats the Temple Master of the Nirvana Shrine. The Temple Master of the Nirvana Shrine was third on the divine list. In the top 10 of the divine list, the difference in strength was like heaven and earth. When the Temple Master of the Nirvana Shrine challenged Miao Zhe, he was easily defeated by Miao Zhe. No wonder Miao Zhe was so confident. Just as Yu Dawei was about to speak, all of a sudden, everyone from the Zephyr Wind Sect felt a powerful force. Everyone looked over and saw a blue-robed figure standing in the air in the distant horizon. Behind him, a towering figure appeared. This figure was covered in all kinds of divine lightning. In the distant horizon, Lu Yiping punched out from countless miles away. When Lu Yiping punched out, he merged with the lightning ancestor's incarnation behind him. The lightning ancestor also punched out at the same time. Boom! Heaven and earth shook. A fist formed from the 5 elements divine lightning, yin-yang divine lightning, nihility divine lightning, and other types of divine lightning broke through layers of space, arriving in front of the Zephyr Wind Sect's main hall in an instant. Then, it blasted into the main hall, right in front of Miao Zhe. Miao Zhe paled, circulating his ancient god force, he punched out with all his might. Divine Time Fist. He roared, his fist bursting with the light of time. The main hall suddenly lit up. A divine fist formed from the power of time broke through the air, colliding with the divine lightning fist. Bang! The entire Zephyr Wind Sect shook violently. But in the next moment, Yu Dawei and the others saw the divine thunder fist seal send Miao Zhe flying. Miao Zhe smashed through the wall of the Zephyr Sect's main hall and shot out from the peak of the Zephyr Sect's main hall to the opposite peak. After smashing through the opposite peak, he continued to shoot through several other peaks before finally smashing into the belly of the 7th peak. The sound of rocks rolling down the mountain was endless. Yu Dawei and the others were stunned. They looked at the blue-robed figure in the distant horizon. Lord Lu Yiping. Yu Dawei was shocked beyond words. In the Su family city, Lu Yiping had sent Su Yi, Su Wen, and Jin Liang flying. The Void Plane guessed that Lu Yiping had already condensed a totem and could fight with the Temple Master of the Nirvana Temple, who was ranked 3rd on the divine ranking. But now, Miao Zhe was sent flying with a single punch. While everyone was still in shock, a figure suddenly shot out from the belly of the 7th peak. It was Miao Zhe, who had just been sent flying. At this time, the divine armor on Miao Zhe's body exploded, as if he was charred by lightning. His skin emitted a charred smell, and his long silver hair was blown up by the divine lightning, making him look like a beggar. Miao Zhe opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. He looked at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. You're Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping, you sneak attacked me, you're courting death. As he said this, ancient god power surged from his body, and the divine world's law flew out. As Miao Zhe's divine world's law flew out, a totem rose like the sun, its light illuminating heaven and earth. Chapter 243. Miao Zhe's totem was more than 100 zhang tall, the totem shone brightly, and the divine world's laws coiled around the totem, merging with it. When the totem rose, the surrounding heaven and earth trembled as if they couldn't withstand the totem's power. Ancient gods comprehended the laws of the divine world and then condensed totems. However, every ancient god comprehended different laws of the divine world. Moreover, the laws of the divine world differed in strength. The stronger the laws of the divine world comprehended, the bigger the totems condensed, and the more powerful the totems were. Ordinary ancient gods condensed totems that were several dozen zhang tall, but Miao Zhe's totem was more than 100 zhang tall, surpassing many ancient gods. Under the totem's light, Miao Zhe looked like an ancient god of war bathed in golden light. Lu Yiping, I know you've condensed your own totem. Miao Zhe's voice was cold. What, you don't dare to summon your totem? Then, he punched out at Lu Yiping. Divine Time Fist. Light burst out from Miao Zhe's fist. When Miao Zhe punched out, the totem above his head shone even brighter. Layers of power merged into his fist, shattering space as it flew towards Lu Yiping. When Miao Zhe's fist punched out, the power of time swept across the zephyr wind sect's mountain peaks. All the flowers and trees on the mountain peaks withered as if their vitality and energy were sucked out. Miao Zhe's divine time fist grew bigger and bigger until it was as big as a small mountain, reaching Lu Yiping with unstoppable momentum. Taurus Longjiao shook his head when he heard that Miao Zhe wanted to see Lu Yiping's totem. All gods who have seen Master's totem will feel despair to the point of doubting life. Despair to the point of doubting life? While Miao Zhe and the others were puzzled, Lu Yiping's body emitted a bright light, and a totem flew out from his body. When this totem flew out, the sky darkened. This totem's size was indescribable. Taurus Longjiao's Kunpeng totem was half the size of the divine Kunpeng divine sect, covering mountain peaks, but Lu Yiping's totem was bigger than that Kunpeng. Compared to Lu Yiping's totem, that Kunpeng totem was nothing. As for Miao Zhe's 100 zhang totem compared to Lu Yiping's totem, it was like comparing a little bird to a giant abyss beast. Lu Yiping's totem slowly rose, as if even the heavens could not contain this totem. Strands after strand of the totem's body, abnormally thick Gods's body. Each strand and then a dragon S's, Huangzi's. 100 million in 100 million. Huangzi's ants, SSSSSS. The totem flew up, towering between heaven and earth. It was as if this totem was the only thing left between heaven and earth. In a city far away from the Zephyr Wind sect, a group of people strolling on the streets suddenly noticed that the sky had darkened. Many experts flew up to take a look and saw a shocking scene. What is that thing? How can it be so huge? Is that the primordial dragon? Zephyr Zhongzhong's experts were dumbstruck looking at the totem behind Lu Yiping. How could there be such a huge totem in this world? Miao Zhe's eyes were wide open, as if he had seen a ghost. He had been to more distant planes and galaxies, and had seen many ancient gods' totems. He had even seen the totems of some of the so-called monstrous geniuses from the Desolate Era families. However, he had never seen such a vast totem in this world. The totem in front of him could no longer be described with zhang. How many tens of thousands of li was it? Was it 100,000 li? Or several 100,000 li? Not to mention, this Lu Yiping's totem actually had 100 million strands of God's laws. He had never seen anyone's totem with more than 10 million strands of God's laws. Because 10 million strands of God's laws were preordained by the heavens. The Lu Yiping in front of him had broken the law of the heavens. At this moment, Miao Zhe finally understood what Taurus Longjiao meant by despair. When Lu Yiping's totem was summoned, Miao Zhe's mountain-sized flowing time divine fist stopped in front of Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping didn't even need to use his totem's power. Just the totem's aura alone was enough to stop Miao Zhe's fist imprint. Looking at Lu Yiping's fist imprint, Lu Yiping casually punched out. The totem's light vibrated, and power flowed into Lu Yiping's fist imprint. A huge fist imprint broke through space, instantly shattering Miao Zhe's fist imprint. Carrying golden flames, the fist imprint crossed the horizon and arrived in front of Miao Zhe. Looking at this fist imprint, Miao Zhe's eyes were filled with despair. Miao Zhe was sent flying, crashing through the Zephyr Sect's mountain peaks. In the end, he crashed into a cliff at the end of the Zephyr Sect's mountain peak. Lying there, Miao Zhe's vitality began to fade. Looking at the sky, it was as if he saw the sun. Scenes of the old demon time imparting him the secret art of time flashed through his mind. Master! His voice was hoarse. Lu Yiping took a step forward, arriving in the air above Miao Zhe. Looking at Lu Yiping, Miao Zhe struggled to speak. Why do you know the ultimate meaning of the flowing time divine fist? Lu Yiping said indifferently, because I taught your master the flowing time divine fist. Miao Zhe was stunned, then his expression relaxed. So that's the reason. Previously, he had guessed that Lu Yiping was another disciple of the old demon time. Miao Zhe slowly closed his eyes. Taurus Longjiao, He Xia, and the others came to Lu Yiping's side. Bury him. Lu Yiping said to Qiyu. Yes, Lord. Qiyu replied respectfully. Night fell. Lu Yiping stood in the courtyard of the largest palace arranged by the Zephyr sect. He took out Mount Buzhou and watered it with the spring of life. After fusing with the 20-meter-tall Mount Buzhou in the Sea of Lava, Mount Buzhou was already more than 60 meters tall. Moreover, some changes had occurred to Mount Buzhou. Faint patterns of the Great Tao began to appear on the mountain. These patterns of the Great Tao were somewhat similar to the patterns of the Jianshu's Great Tao. Seeing these patterns of the Great Tao, Lu Yiping's heart stirred. Could it be that Mount Buzhou also contained a heaven-opening cultivation technique? The Jianshu grew to 300 meters tall, and the heaven-opening cultivation technique was complete. Could it be that the cultivation technique was only complete after Mount Buzhou reached 300 meters tall? After watering 2 bowls of the Spring of Life, the rainbow gourd vine on Mount Buzhou surged with light, and the purple gourd grew a little bigger. At this rate, 2 bowls of the Spring of Life a day would be enough for the purple gourd to mature in a year. Lu Yiping was very much looking forward to this purple gourd. Like the Jianshu, the rainbow gourd vine was one of the top 10 connate spirit roots. The purple gourd's power must be extraordinary. After putting away Mount Buzhou, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao sat cross-legged under the Jianshu and began to comprehend the Great Tao in the jade disk of good fortune. At the same time, they cultivated the immortal sky wood technique. As they cultivated, Lu Yiping's body was gradually covered with a layer of leather armor that resembled the bark of the Jianshu. From afar, Lu Yiping looked like the incarnation of the Jianshu. Taurus Longjiao's body surged with dragon qi and flashed with lightning. Divine dragons coiled around him, and there was a faint shadow of the thunder god. Chapter 244. In the past, the tree was still young, so it wasn't very useful to Lu Yiping and the dragon horn golden bowl. However, now that the tree had grown to over 300 meters tall, the aura of the Great Tao had appeared. Lu Yiping and the dragon horn golden bowl's cultivation speed had increased by a lot. Just as Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao were cultivating under the tree, news of Lu Yiping killing Miao Zhe spread, alarming countless masters in the Void Realm. When Maha Clan leader Mo Xia heard the news, he was shocked. Miao Zhe is dead? Although he was first on the divine list, even he could only defeat Miao Zhe, not kill him. Yes, I didn't expect Lu Yiping to be stronger than we thought. Maha Clan leader Mo Fei frowned. Let's not worry about Lu Yiping for now. Mo Xia muttered, the Firmament Palace has already sent masters to kill him. They should be here in the next 2 days. Mo Fei sneered. Lu Yiping had a death wish. He killed the Lord of 9 Stars without investigating her identity. He then added, however, I heard that when Lu Yiping killed Miao Zhe, the totem he summoned was extremely huge. Some say that Lu Yiping's totem is even bigger than the Zephyr sect. Mo Xia laughed. That's just an exaggeration. The most monstrous genius in the northern wilderness starfield can only condense a totem of 99 miles. Do you know what a 99-mile totem means? In the past 300,000 years, the northern wilderness starfield has only produced one monstrous genius in the thousands of dimensions. Xia then changed the topic. Also, the fourth princess of the undead tribe will be here tomorrow, right? When the time comes, you have to serve her carefully and please the fourth princess. You can't let her pick out any flaws. If our Maha clan can climb up to the undead race, then we won't have to worry about unifying the void plane. Don't worry, father. Fei nodded. The next day, a very large spaceship was breaking through the galactic storm and heading towards the void plane at an astonishing speed. This flying ship was similar to Lu Yiping's Black Dragon flying ship. It was 1,000 feet long and had a scarlet blue body. However, the blue body of the ship was emitting a faint scarlet flame. The body of the flying ship was engraved with a huge totem. It was the Undying Beast totem. When encountering galactic storms and hailstones, the spaceship would directly blast through them. A group of people stood at the bow of the ship. They were led by a beautiful young lady wearing red flame armor. Her skin was white, and she had a pair of almond-shaped eyes. Her face was cold and arrogant. She was the fourth princess of the Undying tribe, Wu Mei. Fourth princess, up ahead is the void plane, a granny behind Wu Mei said. Wu Mei looked at the void plane in front of her. Her arrogant face was filled with disgust. If it weren't for my father's interest in the Maha bloodline, I wouldn't have come to such a remote place. The granny smiled. Although the Maha 17 planes are remote places, there are still geniuses occasionally. For example, the Holy Demon, Qi Zhantian, and the Old Demon of Time. Wu Mei shook her head. They're just slightly talented. If they were placed in the Chaos Plane, they would only be ordinary geniuses. A remote place like this can only produce a few small loaches. At this time, a young man stepped forward and smiled. Cousin, there's something you don't know. Recently, a person has appeared in the Maha 17 planes. I heard that he's the Holy Demon's master. His name is Lu Yiping. He's rising rapidly. Even Miao Zhe, the second on the divine list, was defeated by him. Wu Mei did not care. The divine leaderboard is just a self-proclaimed leaderboard from the Maha 17 planes. It is nothing in the northern wilderness starfield. With your strength, you can easily kill everyone on the leaderboard. The young man, Wu Li, smiled. I heard that Lu Yiping has a lot of stellar chaos water. Wu Mei was shocked. Stellar chaos water? Wu Li smiled. However, Lu Yiping killed the Lord of 9 Stars. The Firmament Palace has sent experts over. They should be here soon. Zephyr Sect. The sun was shining brightly. Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao stopped cultivating. When they left the palace, Qiyu came in to report. Master, the Void Plane is spreading the news that the other half of the Big Dipper Palace's treasure map has appeared. The other half of the Big Dipper Palace's treasure map? Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao exchanged glances. Previously, the Red Lotus Golden Buddha had half of the treasure map. The other half was with Luo Shui. Now, the other half of the treasure map had appeared. Yes, it said that this person's grandmaster is a disciple of the Big Dipper Palace called Dai Chao. Qiyu said, now, he has escaped into the Red Mist Mountains. The Maha clan, Xiankong Island, Scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe, Starry Ocean Sect, and even the Nirvana Temple's experts have all gone to the Red Mist Mountains. Some say that in addition to the Big Dipper Palace's treasure map, he also has the Big Dipper Yin Yang Formation Manual. Taurus Longjiao was surprised. The Big Dipper Yin Yang Formation. The Big Dipper Yin Yang Formation was one of the top 10 ancient formations. It was also the Big Dipper Palace's divine formation. Qiyu said, there's one more thing. I heard that the Firmament Palace has sent experts to kill you. However, I can't find out how many there are and how strong they are. The divine world was vast and boundless. There were countless starfields and planes. Now, the 17 Maha and Hengyuan realms belonged to the northern wilderness starfield of the divine realm. There were more than 3,000 realms in the northern wilderness starfield. Maha and Hengyuan realms were located at the edge of the northern wilderness starfield. It was the weakest realm in the northern wilderness starfield. The strongest realm in the northern wilderness starfield was the Chaos realm. The Firmament Palace was one of the strongest forces in the Chaos Plane. The Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong came from the Firmament Palace. Lu Yiping had only recently learned that the Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong's master was the Patriarch of the Firmament Palace. The Firmament Palace was the overlord of more than 3,000 planes in the northern wilderness starfield. Even the most ordinary Patriarch of the Firmament Palace could make many planes in the northern wilderness starfield tremble with a stomp of his foot. It was no wonder that when they saw Lu Yiping kill the Lord of 9 Stars Yuan Jiahong, they felt as if the sky was falling. Hearing that the northern Firmament Palace's experts were coming, Taurus Longjiao waved the little fish in his hand and smiled. Looks like I can practice my hand strength again. Moments later, Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao left the Zephyr sect and headed for the Red Mist Mountains. Lu Yiping and the rest did not fly. Instead, they drove the Black Dragon flying ship. Just as Lu Yiping and the rest drove the Black Dragon flying ship over, experts from various forces gathered above the Red Mist Mountains. The Maha clan's Patriarch Moxie said to the Maha clan's experts, "Seal the Red Mist Mountains. From now on, only people can enter and not leave. We must find Dai Chao." The Maha clan's experts acknowledged respectfully. The experts from the Xiankong Island sect, the Scattered Star Ocean Sea Tribe, and the Star Ocean sect also sealed off every corner of the Red Mist Mountains. This time, the Sea Tribe had sent many experts. Even the Sea Tribe's most elite army, the Sea God's army, had come. Chapter 245. By the time Lu Yiping's group arrived at the Red Mist Mountains, the Maha clan, Sea Tribe, Xiankong Island, and Starry Sea sect had sealed off the mountain range. However, the Maha clan and Sea Tribe only allowed entry and not exit. Therefore, Lu Yiping's group was not stopped from entering the Red Mist Mountains. Since Dai Chao had hidden himself after entering the Red Mist Mountains, the Maha clan and Sea Tribe had yet to find him. The Red Mist Mountains were vast. Lu Yiping's group flew forward slowly, searching for Dai Chao as they flew. Lu Yiping opened the Eye of Thunder punishment between his eyebrows. Under the Eye of Thunder punishment, the layers of space in the Red Mist Mountains appeared one by one. No matter how deeply Dai Chao hid, as long as he was in the Red Mist Mountains, he could not escape the Eye of Thunder punishment. Not long after Lu Yiping entered the Red Mist Mountains, the Sea Tribe's grand ancestor, Hua Qing, received a report from an expert of the Sea Tribe that Lu Yiping had entered the Red Mist Mountains. I know. Hua Qing's eyes flashed with a cold light. He then crushed the communication talisman to report to the Sea Tribe's Sea God. At the same time, 10 figures broke through the layers of astral storms and entered the Void Plane. These 10 figures were all wearing the same Star Palace battle robe, which was the symbol of the Firmament Palace's Grand Supreme Elder. Each of them was an ancient God realm expert. The sect master of the Starry Sea sect just sent a message saying that Lu Yiping has entered the Red Mist Mountains. The leader of the Firmament Palace group said, "Let's go to the Red Mist Mountains now." The 10 people broke through the air and flew towards the Red Mist Mountains. In a short while, the Red Mist Mountains were in sight. At the Red Mist Mountains, experts from various forces almost simultaneously knew that Lu Yiping had entered the Red Mist Mountains. The Undead Race's flying ship also arrived at the Red Mist Mountains. The Maha clan's young patriarch, Mo Fei, said to the Undead Race's 4th princess, Wu Mei, 4th princess, experts from various forces have gathered in the Red Mist Mountains. A battle is unavoidable. The princess's status, I think it's better not to enter the Mist Mountains. Wu Mei said indifferently, do you think that with the protection of the Undead clan, anyone can hurt me? The young patriarch of the Maha clan, Mo Fei, was stunned. He quickly explained with a smile, that's not what Mo Fei meant. I meant, Wu Mei interrupted, I'm not that precious. With the protection of my undead clan, no one in the Void Realm can hurt me. Moreover, in terms of strength, I'm much stronger than you. Mo Fei looked embarrassed. Wu Li asked, Lu Yiping just entered the Red Mist Mountains, right? Mo Fei was startled. He nodded and said, yes, about 10 minutes ago, our men reported that Lu Yiping entered the Red Mist Mountain range. Wu Li said, find out where Lu Yiping is in the Red Mist Mountains. What does Lord Wu Li want to do? Mo Fei asked carefully. You don't need to know what I want to do, Wu Li said indifferently. You just need to help me find out Lu Yiping's current location. Mo Fei did not dare to ask any more questions. Since Lu Yiping did not hide his whereabouts, the Maha clan soon found out where he was. The undead clan spaceship flew towards Lu Yiping's location. Just as the undead clan spaceship flew towards Lu Yiping's location, the Oceanic Tribe's experts also surrounded Lu Yiping's location. Lu Yiping and the others were searching for Dai Chao's whereabouts when they saw the undead clan spaceship flying towards them. The undead clan spaceship was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it was in front of Lu Yiping and the others. The spaceship stirred up waves of air that shook the surrounding mountains. It's the Chaos Plains undead clan. Chi Yu was shocked. In the Chaos Plain, whether it was the Undead Clan or the Firmament Palace, they were both giants in the northern wilderness starfield. Standing on the spaceship, Wu Li's gaze fell on Lu Yiping. You're Lu Yiping. I heard that you have a lot of Star Chaos water on you. Even to the Undead Clan and the Firmament Palace, Star Chaos water was a rare treasure. Wu Li had been searching for Star Chaos water for a long time. He needed a large amount of Star Chaos water. Otherwise, with his status, he would not have followed Wu Mei to the Void Plain. He had come specifically because he knew that Lu Yiping had Star Chaos water on him. Just as Wu Li finished speaking, the Red Mist Mountains rumbled. 10 powerful auras descended on the Red Mist Mountains. Sensing these 10 powerful auras, the expressions of the experts in the Red Mist Mountain range changed. The Maha clan's patriarch, Mo Xia, also felt the 10 powerful auras and his expression changed. Each of these 10 auras was stronger than his. Clearly, all 10 of them were ancient gods stronger than him. These are ancient gods. 10 ancient gods. The 10 ancient gods descended together. Just the aura they released caused the Red Fog Mountain range to tremble. Even Wu Li of the Undead Clan was surprised. I didn't expect the Firmament Palace to send 10 Grand Elders. The arrival of the 10 Grand Elders of the Firmament Palace in the Red Mist Mountains caused an uproar among the experts. The sect master of the Star Ocean sect led a group of experts to welcome them. Greetings, Zhong Yuan. The sect master of the Star Ocean sect came before the 10 Grand Elders of the Firmament Palace and bowed respectfully. Zhong Yuan was expressionless. Where is Lu Yiping? Just ahead. The sect master of the Star Ocean sect hurriedly said, the Undead Clan's experts are also here. Oh. Zhong Yuan was surprised. Then, he and the other 9 people tore through the air toward Lu Yiping. The Star Ocean sect's experts hurriedly followed. In the blink of an eye, Zhong Yuan and the others arrived at the scene. Zhong Yuan glanced at the Undead Clan spaceship and recognized Wu Mei and Wu Li. His brows furrowed and his gaze fell on Lu Yiping. Just as Zhong Yuan was about to speak, the sound of something breaking through the air came from the distance. The Sea Tribe army and the Maha clan also flew over from the east and south. The Sea Tribe army was led by a beautiful woman in sea god armor. The Maha clan army was led by Maha clan's patriarch Mo Xia. Some of the Void Plains experts recognized the beautiful Sea Tribe woman and were shocked. It's the Sea Tribe Sea God, Lady Aina. The Maha clan, Xiankong Island, and Silence Temple's experts stirred. The Sea Tribe Sea God Aina was 2 generations older than the Sea Tribe's great ancestor Huaqing. Zhong Yuan was also surprised when he sensed Aina's aura. Obviously, he did not expect the Void Plane to have such an expert like Aina. Aina held the Sea Tribe Sea God trident, her face cold. In the blink of an eye, she arrived in front of the crowd. Behind her, the Sea Tribe's strongest army, the Sea God Army, lined up neatly. A murderous aura filled the air. After the Maha clan and the Sea Tribe, the Xiankong Island, Silence Temple, and other super sects of the Void Plane also arrived. Lu Yiping, Taurus Longjiao, and the others were completely surrounded. Originally, they had come for Dai Chao, but now, Dai Chao seemed to have been cast aside. Zhong Yuan looked at Lu Yiping and asked, "Did you kill the Lord of 9 Stars?" Chapter 246. Lu Yiping did not answer Zhong Yuan of the Firmament Palace. Instead, he glanced at Moxie of the Maha clan, Wuli of the Undead clan, Aina of the Sea God Aina, the Master of the Starry Ocean sect, and other experts. He said indifferently, "Why, are you all here for my star chaotic water?" Zhong Yuan's face darkened when he saw that Lu Yiping was ignoring him. As the highest elder of the Firmament Palace, even Moxie of the Maha clan did not dare to ignore his question. A highest elder of the Firmament Palace behind Zhong Yuan could not help but say indifferent, "Brother Zhong Yuan, there is no need to ask any more questions. I will first cripple Lu Yiping and bring him back to the Firmament Palace for punishment." Zhong Yuan nodded. The highest elder of the Firmament Palace stepped forward and looked at Lu Yiping. Without activating his totem, he suddenly threw a punch at Lu Yiping. Limitless Formless Divine Fist. The Limitless Formless Divine Fist was one of the unique skills of the Firmament Palace. The ancient god power surged up like a monstrous wave. The power of the fist print changed the expressions of the surrounding experts. Even Moxie, the clan leader of the Maha clan, was shocked when he felt the destructive power of the opponent's fist. The strength of the 10 highest elders of the Firmament Palace was stronger than he had imagined. Without activating his totem, the power of this punch was much stronger than his totem attack. So strong. Even if 2 of me joined forces, I'm afraid we wouldn't be able to take this punch. Moxie said. Many experts were even more shocked when they heard this. 2 of the first on the divine list could not take a punch from the highest elder of the Firmament Palace. And the opponent had not even activated his totem? How could the supreme elder of the Firmament Palace be so powerful? In the face of the opponent's punch, Lu Yiping did not even look at it and directly slapped it. The fist power exploded. The highest elder of the Firmament Palace was thrown back as if he had been hit by a terrifying force. After smashing through countless mountains, he smashed into the sky. The 10 highest elders of the Firmament Palace had come from that direction. Everyone was stunned. Whether it was the Maha clan or the Sea race, all the masters were shocked. Moxie, in particular, found it even more unbelievable. He was not exaggerating. Even if there were 2 of him, he would not be able to take a punch from the highest elder of the Firmament Palace. But now, the highest elder of the Firmament Palace had been sent flying by Lu Yiping. Even the Sea race's sea god's cold expression changed. Her beautiful eyes were filled with shock. Previously, when she heard that Lu Yiping had sent Su Yi, Su Wen, and Jin Liang flying in the Su family city, she had guessed Lu Yiping's strength. She felt that Lu Yiping should be able to fight against the Nirvana Temple Master, who was ranked 3rd on the God ranking list. However, not long after, during the Battle of the Zephyr sect, Lu Yiping directly killed Miao Zhe, which surprised her greatly. After that, she guessed that Lu Yiping's strength should be slightly stronger than Miao Zhe. But now, it was more than just a little stronger. Lu Yiping glanced at Zhong Yuan. "No need to go through so much trouble, both of you can attack together." Then, his gaze fell on Wu Li and the sea god Hyena. "Both of you can also attack together." At this time, a loud boom sounded. The highest elder of the Firmament Palace who had been sent flying flew out from the pile of rubble. Everyone looked over and saw that the highest elder's divine armor had shattered, and there were streaks of blood on his body. It was a ghastly sight. The highest elder of the Firmament Palace stared at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. The ancient god power in his body surged wildly and the Dharma of the god world flew out. Each strand of divine world law was as thick as a baby's arm. Everyone was shocked to see such a thick divine world law. It was no wonder that they were shocked. Miao Zhe's divine world law was only the size of a finger, but this highest elder's was as thick as a baby's arm, several times thicker than Miao Zhe's. Accompanied by strands of divine world law, a totem flew out. This totem had reached a height of 500 feet. The 500-foot totem was as tall as a small mountain, and it broke through the air in a dazzling light. As the totem flew up, waves of shocking airwaves swept through the world. The surrounding mountains were hit by the airwaves and began to crumble. The trees on the mountains were all thrown up. A 500-foot totem. Mo Xia was shocked. His totem was only 200 feet. Every ancient god expert knew that the strength of a totem increased with every 10 feet. Therefore, the strength of this highest elder of the firmament palace was not only twice his, but more than 10 times his. Die! The highest elder of the firmament palace summoned his totem and took a step forward, arriving in front of Lu Yiping. With a ferocious expression, he suddenly punched at Lu Yiping. This time, it was not the limitless formless divine fist, but another unique skill of the firmament palace, the firmament radiance fist. The firmament radiance fist was created by the founder master of the firmament palace. Its power was much stronger than the limitless formless divine fist. The punch was like the explosion of a bright sun, illuminating the world and hurting everyone's eyes. Seeing the highest elder of the firmament palace summon his totem and punch at Lu Yiping with all his might, the crowd was puzzled. Lu Yiping still stood there motionless. Does Lu Yiping not intend to activate his totem? Hua Qing, the great ancestor of the Sea tribe, said in shock. Although the strength that Lu Yiping had just displayed had shocked everyone, the highest elder of the firmament palace had not used his totem earlier. Now that he had used his totem, the difference in strength was like heaven and earth. Did Lu Yiping want to take the highest elder's punch with his bare hands? Everyone stared at Lu Yiping without blinking. They wanted to see how Lu Yiping would take the highest elder's punch. Looking at the highest elder's firmament radiance fist, Lu Yiping raised his hand and punched out as well. When Lu Yiping punched out, the crowd had an illusion that the world was turning upside down. Time and space were crisscrossing. Everything in the world seemed to be moving in the opposite direction. Boom! Lu Yiping and the highest elder of the firmament palace collided. The firmament light fist of the highest elder of the firmament palace collapsed, and the highest elder of the firmament palace was sent flying backward at an even more terrifying speed. Suddenly, the highest elder of the firmament palace shattered inch by inch in the air. First, the totem cracked and completely exploded. Then, the highest elder's body burst into a bloody mist. His 5 viscera and 6 bowels, godhead, and soul exploded. An ancient god's blood contained immense power. As the bloody mist fell, the red mist mountains shook, and the surrounding peaks were smashed through. The red mist mountains were originally shrouded in red mist. At this time, the red mist surged out from the surrounding peaks, clearing the world. Silence. Everyone forgot to speak. No one even dared to make the slightest sound. The Sea tribe's sea god Aina's chest heaved up and down. It was obvious that she was very excited, and her state of mind was very unstable. Standing on the immortal spaceship, Wu Li's hands trembled. He could no longer maintain the confident smile he had before. Chapter 247. He had blown up an ancient god with one punch. Even his totem had been blown up. And it was an ancient god with a totem that was 500 feet tall. That was an ancient god with a totem that was 500 feet tall. Even Mo Xia, who ranked first on the god list, had only condensed a totem that was 200 feet tall. Even Zhong Yuan's heart was beating wildly. Defeating an ancient god was nothing, but Lu Yiping had blown it up, not defeated it. And he had done it with his bare hands, without using any divine weapon or totem. Just now, he had not even felt Lu Yiping using any divine power. Lu Yiping had blown up an ancient god with a totem that was 500 feet tall with only his physical strength. Perhaps he was too shocked. Even Zhong Yuan stood there, forgetting to speak. Originally, he should have been furious that a Firmament Palace highest elder had been killed, but now, there was only shock in his heart, not anger. Lu Yiping's face was calm, as if he had done something insignificant. He looked at Zhong Yuan and the other 8 Firmament Palace highest elders and said, "It's your turn. It's your turn." Lu Yiping's voice rang in the minds of Zhong Yuan and the other 8 Firmament Palace highest elders like thunder. Everyone looked at Zhong Yuan and the other 8 supreme elders of the Firmament Palace. "And you?" Lu Yiping looked at Sea Tribe Sea God Aina and Undead Clan Wu Li. Undead Clan Wu Li's face was ugly. He had wanted to kill Lu Yiping just now. Originally, he had wanted to kill Lu Yiping before the others, and then search Lu Yiping's star chaos water. But he had not expected the Firmament Palace and the Sea Tribe to arrive one after another. "What, you don't dare to attack?" Lu Yiping looked at the gloomy Undead Clan Wu Li and Sea God Aina. Aina had led the Sea Tribe Sea God Legion here. Her previous murderous aura clearly indicated that she wanted to avenge the previous Sea God Temple's Hall Masters, Huate and Huade. Hearing Lu Yiping say that he didn't dare to make a move, Wu Li of the undead race was enraged. The undead race's Wu Li soared into the sky and stood in midair. His body was covered in raging divine flames, and a terrifying aura roared out, shaking heaven and earth. This aura was many times stronger than that of the highest elder of the Firmament Palace. Even when the highest elder of the Firmament Palace had activated his totem, his aura had not been so astonishing. "Don't dare to make a move." Wu Li laughed in extreme anger. "Lu Yiping, do you really think that I don't dare to make a move? I really thought I was afraid of you." At this point, the ancient god realm's power surged, and the divine world's laws intertwined. Each of the divine world's laws was as thick as an adult's thigh. A huge totem flew out. This totem was actually over 3,000 feet long. It was more than 6 times the size of the highest elder of the Firmament Palace and was bursting with flames. Everyone looked at the huge totem in awe. 3,000 feet. Even Zhong Yuan of the Firmament Palace was shocked. Condensing a 1,000 feet long totem was definitely a genius. Condensing a 3,000 feet long totem could no longer be described as a genius. Although Wu Li had only condensed one totem, his strength was more than 20 times stronger than that of the highest elder of the Firmament Palace. Mo Xia and Mo Fei, who were standing beside the 4th princess of the undead race, were also shocked beyond words. At this moment, Mo Fei finally understood why the 4th princess of the undead race had said that no one in the void plane could hurt her with the undead race's guards. It turned out that such a powerful expert had followed her here. An undead expert beside Wu Mei looked at Wu Li's totem and exclaimed, "Your Highness, Wu Li's strength has improved a lot." Wu Li activated his totem, and a vast power swept out like a demon god, with the power to crush the heavens. He stood high in the sky and looked down at Lu Yiping. "Lu Yiping, I didn't make a move just now because I didn't want to fight with you. Do you really think that I'm afraid of you?" The 3,000 feet long totem was like an ancient sacred mountain. Lu Yiping looked at the 3,000 feet long totem above Wu Li's head and said indifferently, "It's only 3,000 feet long." "Only 3,000 feet long?" Everyone was stunned. Wu Li laughed in anger, "Only 3,000 feet long? You said that my totem is only 3,000 feet long? Does that mean your totem is super big?" Chi Yu, He Xia, and the others' expressions turned strange. Everyone stared at Lu Yiping. Earlier, Lu Yiping had not used his totem in the 2 attacks, so all the experts present were curious about Lu Yiping's totem and how strong Lu Yiping's strength would be after activating his totem. Taurus Longjiao laughed at Wu Li's question, "Anyone who has seen my master's totem will feel despair to the point of doubting life." He had said the same thing to Miao Zhe earlier. Earlier, Lu Yiping had only summoned the first of his 49 totems, and that was already enough to make Miao Zhe doubt life. If Lu Yiping summoned the rest of his totems, Miao Zhe would not only doubt life, but doubt the universe. Despair to the point of doubting life? Then I want to see if you'll really feel despair to the point of doubting life. Wu Li laughed heartily at Wu Li's words, and suddenly punched out at Liu Yiping. Light of immortality. Endless vitality, power of immortality. As his fist punched out, the vast power within his totem rushed out. This power was similar to a phoenix's nirvana, but it was also different. Boom! When Wu Li's fist force blasted out, everyone heard a loud bang. This was the sound of space being blasted by a force that had reached a certain level. Just as Wu Li attacked, Zhong Yuan and the other 8 people of the Firmament Palace also summoned their totems at the same time, and simultaneously punched at Liu Yiping. No one had expected Zhong Yuan and the other 8 Supreme Elders of the Firmament Palace to launch a sneak attack while Wu Li was attacking. Zhong Yuan's totem was more than 1,200 feet long. The other 8 Supreme Elders' totems ranged from 500 feet to 700 feet. The totems of these Supreme Elders of the Firmament Palace were all no less than 500 feet long. The 9 Supreme Elders' combined strength, plus Wu Li, made a total of 10 people. 10 people's earth-shattering power blotted out the sky as they madly attacked Liu Yiping. At this time, Sea Tribe Sea God Hyena also made her move. Her totem pierced through the air, reaching a height of more than 1,200 feet, several feet taller than Zhong Yuan's totem. Hyena swung the trident in her hand, stabbing at Liu Yiping's back with unparalleled speed. Seeing that Sea God Hyena also made her move at the last moment, everyone held their breaths. Just as Wu Li, Zhong Yuan, Hyena, and the other 11 Supreme Elders' attacks were about to reach Liu Yiping, all of a sudden, everyone felt the world shake, as if something terrifying was coming out from heaven and earth. In the next moment, everyone saw a series of incomparably huge God World laws. Each of these God World laws was even bigger than Wu Li's totem. Wu Li's over 3,000 feet totem was as weak as a chicken compared to these God World laws that were as large as dragons. After these God World laws that were as large as dragons, everyone saw an unimaginably huge shadow that could support the sky. When the shadow rose up, the world fell into boundless darkness. Chapter 248. As the gigantic shadow rose into the air, a peerlessly terrifying aura enveloped the heavens. Everyone felt as if they were being crushed by this terrifying aura. This was just an aura, invisible and formless, but everyone felt as if they were being crushed into dust. Under this terrifying aura, Wu Li, Zhong Yuan, Ocean God Hyena, and the others felt their blood freeze. They were unable to move and were all frozen in place. What is this? One of the Temple of Annihilation's experts said with difficulty. Because this black shadow was too huge, no one could clearly see what it was. Wu Li, Zhong Yuan, and the others from the Firmament Palace looked at the slowly rising black shadow and thought of a possibility. They were all shocked. Totem. This is a totem. The undead tribe's 4th princess Wu Mei screamed. Totem. When the undead tribe's 4th princess Wu Mei said this, everyone froze as if they were struck by lightning. They stared at the slowly rising totem as if they had seen a ghost. This is a totem. The Maha tribe's young master Mo Fei trembled. How was this a totem? This was the demonic abyss beast, the largest beast in the universe. Didn't his father say that the most monstrous genius in the northern wilderness starfield in 300,000 years only had a totem of 99 miles? Wu Li and Zhong Yuan were even more shocked. Their faces were filled with disbelief. They had traversed the northern wilderness starfield and had been to many realms in the northern wilderness starfield. However, they had never seen such a gigantic totem before. Not only had they never seen it, they had never even heard of it. Finally, like Miao Zhe, they understood the meaning of the Taurus Longjiao. But now, they were so desperate that they doubted their lives. Finally, the totem rose to the sky. At this time, the Maha tribe and the Oceanic tribe experts could no longer see the sky because the sky was completely covered by this demonic abyss beast totem. Under the aura of this demonic abyss beast totem, the space seemed to be still. 100 million heavenly world laws. Ocean God Hyena looked at the heavenly world laws of the demonic abyss beast totem and no longer had any thoughts. Hearing sea god Aina's voice, everyone noticed Lu Yiping's dragon-like god realm laws. There were a total of 100 million of them. How can there be such a totem in this world? Mo Xia muttered to himself. Anyone who saw such a totem would feel despair. How was he supposed to live? Lu Yiping stood in the air, looking indifferently at Wu Li, Zhongyuan, Aina, and the other 11 people who were attacking him. Wu Li was terrified. Lu Yiping, the undead tribe, is the overlord of Northern Wilderness Starfield. We have countless elites. Please forgive me. I will never offend you again. However, just as he finished speaking, he saw Lu Yiping raise his hand and land a palm strike. Everyone saw a gigantic golden palm that was the size of a city falling down from the void. This gigantic golden palm was shining with Buddhist light. When the Buddhist palm fell, the sound of Buddhas rang out. Buddha's palm. Wu Li shouted as he looked at the descending Buddha palm. The Tathagata Buddha's palm was known as the supreme technique of the Buddha world, and it had been lost since ancient times. Boom! Wu Li was instantly smashed into the ground of the Red Mist Mountains. Sand and stones flew up from the ground. The sand and stones did not fall to the ground for a long time. Everyone looked over and saw Wu Li being smashed into the ground of the Red Mist Mountains. The 3,000-foot-long totem had been smashed into pieces. As for Wu Li himself, he had disappeared. To be exact, he had turned into a blood mist and merged into the ground of the Red Mist Mountains. An ancient god with a 3,000-foot-long totem was smashed to death. Zhongyuan looked at Lu Yiping and the totem behind Lu Yiping and laughed. No one knew why he was laughing. Lu Yiping directly smashed down with his palm. However, this time it was not the Buddha's palm, but a boundless dark palm. Dark palm. No, the dark palm is not this powerful. Under everyone's gaze, Zhongyuan and the other 8 Firmament Palace Grand Elders were also smashed into the ground. Another dark palm print was imprinted on the ground. The dark palm print overlapped with the Buddha's palm print. Darkness and Buddha's light diffused but did not repel each other. Lu Yiping looked at sea god Aina. Everyone swallowed hard. Sea god Aina was the #1 beauty of the Void Plain. After so many years, she was even more beautiful than before. However, Lu Yiping's eyes were indifferent as his palm fell. In Aina's desperate eyes, she was smashed into the ground of the Red Mist Mountains, just like Wu Li and Zhongyuan. Everyone was shocked speechless. 11 ancient gods, plus the Firmament Palace Grand Elder, that was a total of 12. 12 ancient gods were killed just like that. The 4th princess of the undead clan, Wu Mei, trembled as she looked at Wu Li's corpse. She was shocked, angry, and hateful. All the experts of the undead clan looked at Lu Yiping in shock and anger. However, no one dared to make a move. Lu Yiping looked at the Sea Tribe and the Star Sea Sect. The Sea Tribe ancestor Hu Qing and the sect master of the Star Sea Sect paled. Kill! Lu Yiping said. Before anyone could react, Taurus Longjiao behind Lu Yiping moved. Taurus Longjiao did not use the small fish but punched the Sea Tribe with his left fist and the Star Sea Sect with his right fist. When Taurus Longjiao punched out with his left fist, thousands of divine dragons flew out. The roars of the divine dragons filled the sky, drowning the Sea Tribe ancestor and the Sea Tribe Sea God army. Taurus Longjiao's right fist turned into divine lightning that devoured the Star Sea Sect's experts. When the divine dragons and divine lightning disappeared, the Sea Tribe ancestor Hu Qing and the Sea Tribe Sea God army's experts exploded at the same time. The Star Sea Sect's experts were burned to ashes. When everyone saw this, they looked at the dragon horn golden bull in a different light. The Sea Tribe ancestor Hu Qing was ranked 5th on the god list, and the Star Sea Sect master was ranked 7th. Among the Sea Tribe Sea God army and Star Sea Sect's experts, there were many peak late-stage dimension lords. But now, they were all killed by Taurus Longjiao in one move. Anyone else want to make a move? Lu Yiping glanced at the crowd. No one dared to look at Lu Yiping. Lu Yiping put away the totem. Master, do you want to kill all these spectators, the Maha tribe, and the undead tribe? Taurus Longjiao suddenly spoke. Everyone was scared out of their wits, and many experts knelt down. Even the Maha clan's patriarch, Mo Xia, was pale. Let's go. Lu Yiping glanced at the crowd and said. He left with Taurus Longjiao and the others. Many experts felt their bodies go limp. When Lu Yiping and Taurus Longjiao's figures completely disappeared, an old man behind Wu Mei said, "Fourth princess, how should we report to the patriarch when we return?" Wu Li was a direct descendant of the undead tribe's ancestor and a genius that the undead tribe had focused on nurturing. His status was no lower than Wu Mei's. Now that he was dead, even Wu Mei would be punished. Let's return to the undead tribe first. Wu Mei looked in the direction Lu Yiping disappeared and said. You're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.